Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. As a Quasi-Emperor at the beginning, I activate the sign in system of the heavens. Chapter 61. Within the cosmic space gap outside the Forbidden World, a total of 48 cave worlds appeared on Shu Chengqing's body, head, and around him. Each cave world was wrapped with white chain-shaped true immortal laws. As he continued to practice, his foundation became deeper and deeper. He transformed into a clone and traveled through the restricted world, the Blue Star Universe, the Shuangguang world, etc., allowing him to accumulate a huge amount of world power. The power of these worlds was eventually transformed into his cave world, which now has a total of 48 statues. If Shu Chengqing wants to become a true immortal, he needs to condense the 1-meter-long true immortal law in each cave world. However, the average Emperor Zun only has 12 cave worlds at most. It is much more difficult for Shu Chengqing to break through to the level of a true immortal than it is for them. However, at this moment, by accumulating liquid immortal energy and the true immortal Tao fruit condensed from the world tree, Shu Chengqing has already cultivated the 48 cave heaven world to perfection. In other words, Shu Chengqing is about to become a true immortal. To become a true immortal with the power of the 48 cave gods, his starting point is the ending point of others. Most powerful people at the peak level of true immortals will not have the 48 cave gods in the end. But this is not Shu Chengqing's limit. It's not over yet. At this moment, in the chaotic ancient era of the Forbidden World, the free clone of another person who has taken the path of being a human being is fighting against 6 powerful true immortals from the time and space vault. These powerful true immortals come from the immortal realm mentioned by 9 heavens and 10 earths, and they want to obliterate the clones of others who are born in the body. The place where they fought was not yet part of the immortal realm, but was located at the junction of the 9 heavens and 10 earths and the immortal realm. But Shu Chengqing's purpose is to enter the fairyland, the 10-star high-dimensional universe called the Dark Fairyland, and complete the sign-in task. 6 true immortals from the Dark Immortal realm teamed up to besiege Shu Chengqing, who was born as a species. The boundary space plane was constantly shattered. The monks in the 9 heavens and 10 earths were horrified to find that countless cracks had also occurred in their entire 9 heavens and 10 earths. Those dark forbidden areas, those ancient great religions, and many powerful people died in the aftermath of the battle between Shu Chengqing and the true immortal. For a long time, everything became quiet. The entire 9 heavens and 10 earths were in extreme fragmentation, and the laws of heaven were no longer perfect. The last memory they could see of the small stone and the old willow tree was that the corpses of the 6 true immortals fell into the lower world, and Shu Chengqing disappeared. But in fact, Shu Chengqing is not dead yet. The other avatar in the border space plane succeeded in defeating the 6 true immortals. A large number of world laws and immortal laws belonging to the Dark Fairy world were completely transformed by the world tree, and then entered the body of Shu Chengqing in the chaotic space outside the Forbidden World. Shu Chengqing's Dongtian world has once again increased by 12, reaching 60 Dongtian worlds. Moreover, the newly emerged cave world, after the transformation of the world tree, absorbed the immortal laws of the 6 true immortals. Without the need for Shu Chengqing to refining them with Taichu liquid immortal energy, almost 1-meter-long immortal laws were formed. Rumbling sounds came from Shu Chengqing's 60 cave world. The power of various laws converged and were tightly bound by 61-meter-long true immortal laws. His accumulation was so powerful that it was instantly wiped out by Shu Chengqing as soon as the true immortal tribulation appeared. At this moment, within the 60 cave heavens, a large number of destruction and life and death laws belonging to the true immortal level were born. The white true immortal laws entwine from outside the cave sky towards the cave sky, and all the 1-meter-long true immortal laws enter the cave sky. Shu Chengqing's whole body underwent a qualitative change. Every time he breathed in and out, there was liquid immortal energy. Breathing in and out of liquid immortal energy is a unique method possessed by true immortals. At this moment, his 60 caves have completely created an independent world with spirituality. He became a true immortal, and for Taichu universe, as soon as he broke through, he was comparable to the pinnacle true immortal of Taichu immortal realm. The pinnacle true immortal of the Taichu immortal realm can condense 10 meters of immortal laws in each cave. Although it is far longer than Shu Chengqing's current 1-meter length, Shu Chengqing's cave has a total of 60 statues. And most of the peak true immortals only have about 20 caves. At this moment, Shu Chengqing has stepped from immortal to an immortal level, with a lifespan of millions of years, and can easily destroy a big world like the original world. At this moment, he relies on the laws of life and death derived from the cave world to summon people who have been dead for a long time from the river of destiny, reverse their life and death, and bring people back to life. But the true immortal level has just comprehended the law of life and death. The consequence of this is that the law of life and death is broken and cannot be condensed, and it will degenerate into immortal from now on. If you want to truly master the laws of life and death, the realm of true immortality is far from enough. True immortality is just the beginning of the level of immortality. The real body Shu Chengqing opened his eyes in an instant, and his eyes were no longer full of stars, but the world of 60 independent caves. At the same time, in the ancient world of the restricted area, after the battle with 6 true immortals, he transformed into a clone of himself and fought against 6 true immortal queens, and the avenue almost collapsed. But he finally entered the fairyland that 9 heavens and 10 earths talked about. Through his sight, Shu Chengqing finally saw the 10-star universe, a high-dimensional universe called the Dark Fairyland. The mountains and rivers are scattered, the unknown laws of immortality are broken, there are fallen micro-universes and medium-sized universes everywhere, all kinds of chaos, all kinds of brokenness. It is very different from what Shu Chengqing expected. In this dark fairy world, the laws are extremely powerful, and there is immortal aura everywhere, but it is extremely uneven. This powerful chaos and unknown immortal law blew away the already fragile clone of himself in an instant. All Shu Chengqing's vision completely disappeared. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the 10-star universe sign-in task. The host will be rewarded with 100 bottles of liquid immortal energy, a top-quality immortal weapon, the heaven-shaking seal, and a 500 world value reward. This is Shu Chengqing's first glimpse of the 10-star universe. From this, it can be inferred that it belongs to the Taichu universe above the original world. Above the true immortals, there are heavenly immortals. Once you reach the level of the immortal, you can choose to ascend to the Taichu immortal realm. His true immortal cultivation is not enough, and entering the Taichu universe is equivalent to entering a brand new plane. The realm of immortality is probably nothing. He, Shu Chengqing, did not want to be reduced to a little minion at the mercy of others after entering the Taichu universe. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the mission and going to the 9-star intermediate world to sign in at the Bright World. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the mission and going to the 9-star advanced world Tianmen world to sign in. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the mission and going to the central world of the 9-star advanced world to sign in. The voice of the system kept flashing in Shu Chengqing's mind. After becoming a true immortal, the progress of the task seemed to be getting faster and faster. Shu Chengqing's eyes flashed, he couldn't let go of those 3,000 worlds. At this moment in the Shuangguang world, Shu Chengqing used the human puppet technique and was transforming Emperor Xuanming into a human puppet. Everyone watching was horrified. The third prince of the Bright World suddenly jumped out. Stop! The Shuangguang world is covered by my Guangming world, do you dare to touch the Xuanming Emperor? The entire Shuangguang world has collapsed. Tianyangzi and other original Holy Land masters flew out of Shu Chengqing's cave, greedily absorbing the power of the world laws of the Shuangguang world. As for the Shuangguang Zhangzong, there are only a few dozen people left, and they are currently hiding behind the third prince. A golden light automatically spread out from the third prince's body, and it was this light that isolated Shu Chengqing from the aftermath of the fight with other emperors. From this light, Shu Chengqing felt the power of the true immortal. Behind the 3 princes, there was a powerful true immortal protecting him. The world of Shuangguang was destroyed, and the starry sky was exposed to everyone's sight. And Emperor Xuanming was not dead yet, and was trampled under Shu Chengqing's feet. Let me recall. The original Holy Land recorded an emperor-level technique called the human puppet technique. Fellow Taoist Xuanming, please experience the charm of this man's puppetry. When they heard the name of the human puppet technique, the 2 ancestors Yuanyang and Chu Tai couldn't help but their eyelids jumped. At this moment, Emperor Xuanming screamed miserably. This method of turning people into puppets was extremely vicious, and the consciousness belonging to Emperor Xuanming was being cleared away little by little. Countless people in Shuangguang Zhangzong could only look at the miserable situation of Emperor Xuanming. The remaining powerful emperors had a look of fear on their faces and did not dare to step forward to save their sect leader. Emperor Qin of the Bright World, his previous body has been broken up by Shu Changqing, and the power of the law of the Great Road is dim. Everyone in the Xuanguang world showed extremely fearful expressions, and could only look at the third prince of the Guangming Empire. The third prince was also cold all over. He had a noble status, but he was only an ordinary emperor and was far from Shu Changqing's opponent. If it weren't for the protection left by the powerful true immortal, he would have died long ago. But behind him stood the Guangming world, and even the third prince of the Guangming Empire. He didn't think Shu Changqing really dared to touch him. Stop, original Holy Lord, the great world of Xuanguang is the place of protection for my great world of light. Although you are very powerful, you are not a true immortal after all. Don't realize it. If you repent, my bright world can forget about it. Shu Changqing, who was using the human puppet technique, tilted his head slightly, and the other clones also looked at the third prince, who suddenly felt his scalp numb. Are you teaching me how to do something? The third prince's heart trembled, and a surge of shame and anger emerged in his heart. This Shu Changqing was so powerful that he actually felt scared. Shu Changqing, our bright world has two true immortals, and they are blessed by the Taichu immortal world. Shu Changqing, what do you want to do? Emperor Qin in front of him was suddenly grabbed by Shu Changqing, who looked indifferent. You're a pretty good guy. Just like Zan Ming, you can become the emperor's puppet of my original Holy Land. Another different kind of scream sounded again, making everyone shiver. The third prince yelled, Shu Changqing, Emperor Qin is from my great world of light, and his mother's family is from the great world of Dragon King. How dare you touch him? No one in the entire 3,000 great worlds can save you. Shu Changqing frowned. Noisy. Do you really think that the blessing of a true immortal can protect you? Except for Shu Changqing, who used the human puppet technique, the other 10 clones who came out of the river of time suddenly condensed the immortal laws above the cave sky, and then all shot at the third prince. The latter was extremely frightened, and the light of the true immortal protector on his body surged, trying to resist. With a click, a jade pendant on the third prince fell and shattered, and the light on his body disappeared in an instant. The whole person showed a look of horror. How terrifying is this Shu Changqing, even the body of the real immortal is broken. Wait a minute, I am the third prince of the Bright Empire, my father is a true immortal, Before he finished speaking, the remaining immortal law attacks contained the ultimate aura of destruction, swallowing up the third prince and the remaining people in the Xuanguang world. Yuan Yang and others also looked horrified. Their holy lord actually killed the third prince of the great world of light. That bright world has the existence of true immortals. But Tianyangzi knew very well the thoughts of his beloved disciple, and Changqing would not do anything that he was not sure of. He and other great emperors from the original world had a thought in their minds. Their evergreen holy lord was not afraid of the true immortals from the bright world looking for trouble. Although it was incredible, everyone was breathing heavily again, wondering what other methods Shu Changqing had to fight against the powerful true immortal. However, the actions of Shu Changqing's men were not slow. Emperor Xuanming and Emperor Qin had stopped screaming and turned into wooden figures standing beside Shu Changqing. From now on, the two of them become human puppets at the mercy of others. Zan Ming, Qin Shan pays homage to the master. The wooden voice rang out, shocking everyone in the original world. The powerful Emperor Zun actually turned into a human puppet. Shu Changqing shook his head, and then handed over control of the two to Tianyangzi and others. From this year onwards, these two human puppets will be the protectors of my original world. Everyone felt as if it was a lifetime ago, and the Xuanguang world incident ended like this. Their original world and the Xuanguang world have been at war for millions of years. Unexpectedly, it finally ended in a successful manner today. Everyone felt incredible. The entire Xuanguang world has been destroyed, and everyone in the original world has also obtained a lot of power of law, but there is still a lot of power of law in the starry sky that is about to dissipate. The 11 Shu Changqing clones rose into the sky again, the immortal laws on their bodies condensed, and then the power of the law of destruction rushed towards the boundary sea outside the Xuanguang world. The entire boundary sea was boiling, but it was essentially a collection of space turbulence, which was directly destroyed by Shu Changqing at this moment. At this time, the original world was directly connected to the Xuanguang world. A large amount of the power of the laws of the Xuanguang Great World poured into the original Great World. Everyone looked at this method like a true immortal in horror. How did the two worlds merge like this? With the integration of a huge amount of law power, these strong men in their original world found that it would be easier and easier to break through the realm in the future. And all of this comes from Shu Changqing. Suddenly, the 11 Shu Changqings all looked in the same direction. I saw a broken jade pendant floating up from the place where the third prince died. The terrifying aura brewed from the jade pendant and spread throughout the entire universe and starry sky. Who killed my son? A terrifying consciousness was quickly generated from the jade pendant. In everyone's sight, a middle-aged man wearing an imperial crown appeared above the starry sky, exuding a huge amount of the power of the true immortal law. This is the arrival of the real immortal. A true immortal is crossing countless great worlds and crossing over from another high-level great world. The entire space and time are in extreme distortion. The figure who crossed over looked at Shu Changqing and others for a moment. Very good. I thought it was another big world under the Taichu Golden List, but it turned out to be a mountain villager from a lower plane. How dare you kill my Jiyu Wangwan's heir? No matter who you are. No matter you, your friends, relatives, sect, or even the entire world where you are, will perish. What happened in the Shuangguang world has long attracted the attention of many nearby worlds. It's just that the rankings of the nearby 3,000 realms are relatively low, and there are not even a few powerful emperors. However, the things here were still publicized by interested people, and the entire 3,000 realms began to focus on the Shuangguang world. There were even other powerful emperors close to the true immortal level who invested their spiritual consciousness into the Shuangguang world. But soon they were shocked. The Shuangguang world was destroyed, and Shuangguang Zhengzong ceased to exist. The world of Shuangguang has perished. What's going on? Didn't it say that today is the birthday of Emperor Xuanming? The great world of Shuangguang has the great world of light as its backer, who is so bold. The Xuanming Emperor is also a strong man close to the true immortal level. Could it be that the Shuangguang world has offended the true immortal powerhouse? Everyone guessed that it was a powerful man at the level of a true immortal who destroyed the Shuangguang world and dared to ignore the Guangming world. Maybe it was other worlds under the Taichu Golden List. However, strong law fluctuations came from the direction of the Shuangguang world, and all the powerful people in the nearby world who were paying attention felt it. Worry, there are true immortal auras fluctuating, and a true immortal has descended into the Shuangguang world. That aura is that of Jiyu Wangwan, the emperor of the bright empire in the great world of light, a peerless powerhouse at the peak of the early true immortal stage. My dear, the great world of light is not close to the great world of Shuangguang, but if you can force Jiyu Wangwan to do it himself, something big must have happened. Extremely far away from the Shuangguang world, countless stars are constantly rotating around the world. This big world is called the Baoguang world. It ranks 35th on the Taichu Golden List and is led by the only force, Baoguang Pavilion. In Baoguang Pavilion, in a cave-like paradise, a fat young Taoist dressed in extremely luxurious clothes suddenly took out a jade slip, and the information on it immediately caught his attention. The Shuangguang world is suspected to have been destroyed by the true immortal. Jiyu Wangwan, the true immortal from the Guangming world, came to the Shuangguang world. How can such excitement be missing without me, Wang Tang? The showdown between true immortals is big news. If you sell this information to those in the big world, it will definitely be worth a lot of money. Baoguang Pavilion started out by trading various imperial weapons, elixirs, and even immortal weapons. It was the exchange of all realms under the 3,000 realms. Of course there are also various transaction information. The fat man Wang Tang sinks his consciousness into his jade slips and keeps publishing all kinds of eye-popping information. A decisive battle in the starry sky, a duel between two true immortals. The ancient divine mirror, a medium-grade immortal weapon, will personally offer you a wonderful duel. No need for 298, number 98. Just 8 bottles of liquid fairy energy can bring home the duel between true immortals. This information was distributed to all 3,000 worlds through the Baoguang Pavilion platform, immediately attracting the attention of countless distant worlds. Even the powerful men in the great world under the Taichu Gold List showed interest. The duel between true immortals can give the emperor-level experts a chance to gain supreme enlightenment, and it can also allow some powerful true immortals to know themselves and their enemies. This news instantly aroused the interest of countless powerful emperors and even true immortals in the world. Fatty Wong Tang chuckled. In just a short period of time, he had received dozens of orders from the big world. Time does not wait for us. Hurry up and take a look at the situation in Shuangguang world. Come out, Shaoshan. The light on Wang Tang's body flickered, and an ancient mirror floated out from behind him. The aura of this ancient mirror surpasses that of the Quasi-Emperor weapon. It turns out to be an immortal weapon, with the ability to ignore distance and space and peek into the fate of others. Fat man, what are you doing with me? The immortal weapon spirit transformed into an extremely strong middle-aged man, looking at Wang Tang with his head tilted. The young fat man said with a smile on his face, Shaoshan, bring up the picture of the Shuangguang world for me, and I will give you 8 bottles of liquid immortal energy afterwards. The middle-aged man in the ancient mirror snorted, Fat man, are you bluffing me again? I want 5 bottles, 5 to 8 is bigger, give me 5 bottles. Wang Tang's smile faltered. If I had known that I had quoted 3 bottles, would I be satisfied just giving you 1? The spirits of the medium-grade immortal weapons were extremely pure, and soon the whole realm appeared, and through the power of the immortal weapons, it was projected into various big worlds that Wang Tang was connected with. This is the power of immortal weapons, otherwise, even the powerful immortals would not be able to achieve this. Because the 3000 realm is really too big. All the powerful men who traded with Wang Tang had a picture projected in front of them. This picture is extremely clear, and what everyone sees is the ruined starry sky. The Shuangguang world, ranked 153rd, is in fragmentation, and most of the world's laws are drifting in one direction to another world. The world of Shuangguang is really destroyed. I heard that the Shuangguang world has climbed up to the Guangming world. How could it be destroyed? But this is not the focus of this group of people. In the mirror, a powerful true immortal is crossing the dimensions of time and space, and through some kind of medium, descending into the broken world of Shuangguang. Opposite the true immortal were a group of powerful emperors. The strong men from all the big worlds looked at it for the first time, and their eyes were straightened. In their sight, 11 identical young men in blue robes were watching the arrival of the true immortal with indifferent expressions. What kind of skill is this? It can actually manifest 11 clones with the same cultivation level. Each clone surpasses the emperor in strength, and condenses 1/3 of the true immortal law, but even so, it is no match for the powerful true immortal. It's not a true immortal versus a true immortal. This young man can't even take a move from a true immortal. He's looking for death. Fat Wang Tang refunds the deposit. I want to watch the duel between real immortals. A large number of barrages appeared on the ancient god mirror, basically calling Wang Tang an unscrupulous profiteer. Everyone's interest dropped by half in an instant. They thought it was a duel between 2 true immortals. A lot of words appeared on the ancient god's mirror. It was all those powerful people in the big world who wanted Fatty Wang to refund his deposit, and he suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. I'm holding you in my arms, Madhu. Who gave me false news? Isn't this a sign to destroy me, Wang Tang? At this moment, the voice of the true immortal Gu Wangwan appeared in the mirror, and this voice immediately attracted everyone's attention. The village man from the lower plane, Yamano, not only destroyed the world of Shuangguang, but also dared to kill me, the emperor of the Bright Empire, and used the powerful emperor as a puppet, and finally killed my heir. In all these years, no one in my bright world has dared to offend me like this. Through the immortal ancient divine mirror, the eyelids of all the powerful men suddenly jumped. They dared to use the emperor of the Bright Empire as a puppet and even killed Gu Wangwan's heir. The young man opposite was very brave. At this moment, everyone no longer clamored to ask Wang Tang to refund their money, they were all attracted by what was happening in the Shuangguang world. In their field of vision, the true immortal Gu Wangwan had completely arrived in the Shuangguang world. However, soon in everyone's sight, the 11 clones on the opposite side began to overlap and enter the body of one clone, merging into one person. Then the immortal laws on the body increased sharply, and the number of the cave world reached 15. The strength is infinitely close to that of a true immortal. You haven't reached the realm of true immortals, but you have the power of 15 cave gods. Oh my god. Everyone's eyes widened. Who is this young man? With this kind of strength, is it possible to catch dozens of attacks from real immortals, or have a chance to escape? Gu Wangwan, who was wearing imperial robes, sneered at this moment. No wonder you are so brave, but if you don't become a true immortal, you will always be an ant. You have angered my Shuangguang world. No one can save you today. Without saying a word, the immortal law on his body condensed, and the 15 cave worlds opened up, crushing the young man opposite him with one finger. The two people have the same number of cave worlds, but the immortal laws contained in them are completely different. The surrounding space was wiped out again, and the young man at the center of the storm took the people around him into his cave world, and at the same time took out a talisman unhurriedly. The moment he saw the talisman, the fat man Wang Tang was the first to show horror and jumped up. The powerful men in other big worlds also trembled violently. True immortal talisman, how could he have a true immortal talisman? The true immortal talisman can enable a strong person at the emperor level to forcibly activate all of his potential, perfecting his own cave and reaching the level of a true immortal. The stronger the power of the talisman, the more potential one can unleash, and the more power one can gain at the true immortal level. This kind of true immortal talisman can only be made by immortals and immortals at the level of gods. It is extremely precious and is usually passed down from the immortal world of Taichu. I didn't expect that it can be seen in the distant Shuangguang world. What is the identity of this young man? He has a true immortal talisman. Could it be that he is also a strong man in the world who ranks among the 100 on the Taichu Golden List? This kind of true immortal talisman must be related to Taichu Immortal Realm to obtain. Some people began to speculate about Xu Chengqing's identity. Wang Tang's face lit up. It seemed that this battle was not necessarily one-sided. In the world of Shuangguang, the giant finger of the immortal law of the true immortal Jiyu Wangwan was blocked by an inexplicable force. In front of him, the clone of Xu Chengqing he transformed into place the true immortal talisman on his forehead. The 15 caves on his body immediately began to rotate violently, and the original 1/3 of the immortal law instantly stretched into a 1-meter white chain. The 15 caves and heavens were instantly complete. However, this was only the beginning. 3 cave worlds appeared again from Xu Chengqing's side. These cave worlds grew larger in the blink of an eye, and the immortal laws were entangled. 1-meter-long white immortal laws surrounded Xu Chengqing's cave world. The 18 cave worlds are instantly complete. In Xu Chengqing's cave world, other quasi-emperors did not recognize the true immortal talisman, but Yuanyang and other great emperors showed horror and excitement on their faces. It turns out to be a true immortal talisman. No wonder the Holy Master is not afraid of the powerful true immortal. Did you get this from the key of the mysterious lady? According to legend, there are a large number of supreme elixirs, world laws, true immortal talismans, and liquid immortal energy in the Xuanmen Gate. The Holy Lord is a person with great opportunities. It is not difficult to obtain the true immortal talismans from it. But soon, everyone in the original world looked worried again. The true immortal talisman can only give a person the power of a true immortal for a short period of time. Even if he can defeat the true immortal Jiyu Wangwan, there is still a big world behind him. What's more, this Jiyu Wangwan is not a simple true immortal. Impossible. How can you, a mere commoner from the mountains and plains of the original world, obtain the true immortal talisman? True immortal Jiyu Wangwan showed a look of horror. He saw with his own eyes that Xu Chengqing jumped from the level of emperor to the level of true immortal. This was indeed a true immortal talisman. The current Xu Chengqing, judging from various conditions, has completely reached the early stage of true immortal. Even if his cave worlds reached 18, if it weren't for the fact that the immortal law had only just broken through 1 meter, he would not be Xu Chengqing's opponent at all. Moreover, the true immortal talisman on Xu Chengqing's forehead is still radiating light, and this true immortal talisman is still improving his cultivation. The face of true immortal Jiyu Wangwan changed, his hands were filled with all kinds of destruction and laws of life and death, and his body teleported to Xu Chengqing in an instant. The laws of the Great Avenue stirred up, and 2 powerful men at the level of true immortals fought fiercely in the starry sky of the universe. The battle at the true immortal level was enough to completely destroy the 8-star peak world, and the Shuangguang world was even more damaged to the extreme. In front of the ancient mirror, all kinds of barrages flew up. Everyone felt incredible. The original great world, there is no such great world under the Taichu Golden List. I know about the original great world. It was ranked 188th 200,000 years ago, but due to an accident, there are no powerful emperors in the entire great world now. This young man was born in the original world. Wang Tang, why don't you let the ancient divine mirror find out the details of this young man? You fat man, you want so much liquid fairy energy and elixirs from us, hurry up and do something. Wang Tang saw the cursing barrage on the ancient god's mirror, and immediately cursed in a low voice, but who makes the customer the boss? As an immortal weapon, the ancient divine mirror does not have much offensive ability, but it has the ability to break the fate of others. He is now at the emperor level and can use the ancient divine mirror to view the past events of powerful people below the middle stage of true immortal. Xiao Xin, I'll give you a bottle of liquid immortal energy, and you have to embody that young man's past. When Xiao Xin, the weapon spirit of the ancient divine mirror, heard about a bottle, he immediately became energetic. Soon, several lines of text appeared on the barrage in the ancient mirror. Name, Xu Changqing. Age, 942 years old. Identity, Holy Lord of the original Holy Land of the original Great World. Talent, make people despair. Strength, unknown. Origin, unknown. Other information, unknown. Everyone's eyes widened. Are you less than 1,000 years old? Even without the true immortal talisman, Xu Changqing's cultivation has already reached the emperor level. Even among the top 10 in the world, there are few talents who have reached this level at this age. What's more, Xu Changqing comes from a declining primitive world. But soon, everyone on the ancient mirror began to curse. Fat man, you don't have any information. You don't even know his origin. Wasn't he born in the great universe at the beginning? The specific cultivation level is still hidden from us. What on earth do you want to do? Wang Tang also looked confused. He didn't deliberately block Xu Changqing's information. Xiao Xin, what's going on? Then why is Xu Changqing's information so little? Qiling Xiaoxian was also a little confused. This Xu Changqing is weird, I can't find much about it. The origin is unknown. It is very likely that this Xu Changqing is not from my Taichu universe. Wang Tang's expression trembled. Even the ancient mirror, an immortal weapon, could not find information about Xu Changqing. The latter must be hiding a big secret. At this time, the barrage in front of the ancient divine mirror gradually decreased, and everyone began to focus on the battle at the true immortal level, hoping to gain insights into the laws and use them to break through their own cultivation. Soon, everyone was shocked. Xu Changqing, who had just broken through to the level of a true immortal, was no match for the true immortal Ji Yu Wangwan. But as time went by, the true immortal talisman above Xu Changqing's head shone brightly, and he actually added 3 caves again. How is it possible? 21 caves, where did this Xu Changqing come from? The true immortal talisman can elevate a person to the true immortal level in advance, but the actual level of improvement still depends on one's talent. Xu Changqing now has the power of 21 cave heavens, which means that when he truly breaks through to become a true immortal, he can possess up to 21 cave heaven worlds. Most emperors bring 12 cave gods to break through to the level of true immortals. From this, it can be seen that Xu Changqing's talent is extremely strong. Everyone passed through the ancient mirror and looked horrified. This kind of background is unheard of in the 21 cave heaven world. Generally, only the powerful people in the late stage of true immortal have this kind of background. And in the future, the breakthrough to immortality is just around the corner. The true immortal Ji Yu Wangwan's face condensed. This Xu Changqing must die. Otherwise, there will be endless troubles. However, before he could make any move, the 9 cave heavens appeared again from above Xu Changqing's head. This time everyone was shocked again. In total, there are 30 cave heavens. With the blessing of the true immortal talisman, all the cave heavens have reached perfection. An extremely strong aura emanated from Xu Changqing's body, and the true immortal talisman above his head finally disappeared, but he, Xu Changqing, was already comparable to the peak of the early true immortal. You want to destroy my original world? He possesses the power of 30 cave gods. If Xu Changqing's immortal laws above the cave sky also reach the level of a true immortal at the same level, his current strength will be directly comparable to that of a mid-stage true immortal. There are not many strong people in the middle stage of true immortal in the entire 3,000 realms. The terrifying aura erupted from Xu Changqing's body, and in an instant, all the true immortal laws that suppressed Xu Changqing's body collapsed. The power of the great law spread in circles, and the true immortal Ji Yu Wangwan couldn't help but retreat. There was a look of extreme shock on his face. He was actually repelled by a junior who had not yet become a true immortal. In front of the ancient mirror, everyone was shocked again. He was worthy of being a powerful man with the power of 30 cave gods. Although the immortal law above each cave has just reached 1 meter in length, it is the accumulation of the power of 30 caves. The power of 30 cave gods is too powerful. What is going on with Xu Changqing? Fortunately, this is just to stimulate his full potential through the true immortal talisman. If it is true, isn't this Xu Changqing a being who has just broken through to become a true immortal and can rival the peak of a true immortal? It's impossible. If he has the power of 30 cave gods, the liquid immortal energy he needs will definitely be massive. Where does the liquid immortal energy come from in this original world? Suddenly, a different kind of barrage appeared on the ancient god's mirror. Everyone looked at it and took a breath of cold air. The person who spoke turned out to be Yan Wei, a powerful person in the middle stage of true immortal in the Tianmen Great World. Na Yanwei continued. The true immortal talisman can only reflect the evolution of my strongest talent, but it does not mean that Xu Changqing can really break through the true immortal with the power of 30 cave gods in the future. But even so, this young man is too extraordinary. Compared with the central world, there are super geniuses in several other big worlds, and even peerless geniuses in the upper world. It is not false at all. Not only Yan Wei, but also many other powerful true immortals from the big world began to join the ancient god realm, and everyone spoke highly of Xu Changqing. So what if he is a genius? After all, he is not a true immortal. If Ji Wangwan has deep cultivation and has the backing of the bright world, this genius will inevitably fall. Although everyone thinks highly of Xu Changqing, they are not optimistic about his fate. If you offend the big world under the Taichu Golden List, no matter how good your talent is, what's the use? On the contrary, some people's eyes flickered. This Xu Changqing must have had an adventure. Can I get this adventure from him? In the Shuangguang world, Ji Wangwan was horrified to find that Xu Changqing became more and more courageous as he fought, but he couldn't resist it. Ji Wangwan made a move with one hand, and a flying sword from heaven traveled through space and time. It was an immortal sword. He shouted, "Here comes the sword." This is an immortal weapon passed down from generation to generation in the great world of light, controlled by the Emperor of the Empire of Light. The blade of the sword is simple and radiant, and everyone who pays attention once again reveals its brilliant light. He actually forced a true immortal to use the immortal weapon. It was worth it even if Xu Changqing died. With the blessing of the immortal weapon, Ji Wangwan, who had been at a disadvantage, once again took control of his own rhythm. The heaven and earth roared, thunder and calamity arose, and even affected the original world. It's just that Xu Changqing deliberately protected the original world, otherwise under the battle between the two true immortals, this 8-star world would be instantly wiped out. Ji Wangwan sneered. At this point, you still want to protect the original world. Once the power of your true immortal talisman regresses, by then, you will be a fat sheep to be slaughtered. Now, confess everything about you, your cultivation, your adventures, and the Xuanmen Gate. Give me the great world of light. Maybe I will let go of that mere original great world. Xu Changqing's expression did not change. The transformation of his body has been completed and he has become a true immortal. However, he still needs to consolidate his cultivation for a period of time. To deal with this mere true immortal Ji Wangwan, Xu Changqing's body is not needed at all. So what about the fairy weapon? Xu Changqing's eyes were furious, and a true immortal talisman appeared on his left hand again. His true body has the power of 60 cave gods, but now Xu Changqing has only manifested 30. After manifesting 30 statues, the first true immortal talisman had been exhausted. At this moment, he directly took out the second true immortal talisman. In front of the ancient mirror, everyone's eyes widened again. There are also true immortal talisman. What happened to Xu Changqing? Where did this true immortal talisman come from? It is said that the original world once possessed the key to the mysterious lady. Could it be that they opened the treasure of the mysterious lady's gate? It's really possible. Otherwise, how could Xu Changqing have so many resources? Isn't it a waste of natural resources to give him the true immortal talisman? Everyone couldn't help but guess what was going on behind Xu Changqing. Some people could no longer restrain their greed and secretly went to the Shuangguang world. Ji Wangwan's expression changed again. You still have the true immortal talisman, but if you use this kind of thing, it will be in vain. You might as well give it to me. Ordinary true immortal talismans can maximize the host's talent. Shu Chengqing, who has consumed a true immortal talisman, should have reached the highest point of his talent. Others thought the same way. Does Shu Chengqing want to waste the second true immortal talisman? It's useless for him to swallow it now, so he might as well give it to me. But then, everyone's eyes widened. Jiyu Wangwan used his powerful time and space abilities to target Shu Chengqing. However, as they were both at the true immortal level, his time and space powers could not affect Shu Chengqing at all. He watched helplessly as Shu Chengqing used a true immortal talisman again. Everyone couldn't help but say, what a waste of natural resources. Suddenly, the entire time and space was distorted, and the cave sky around Shu Chengqing began to rotate urgently again. Then, above the 30 cave heavens, 18 more cave heaven powers appeared in unison. A total of 48 cave heaven powers appeared in front of everyone's eyes, blinding everyone's eyes. At the same time that the power of the 48 cave heavens emerged, 1 meter-long fairy law was wrapped around each cave sky. Shu Chengqing showed some regrets. Even this second true immortal talisman could only manifest his cave world to 48 statues. His original body had 60 cave worlds. However, it is already enough to deal with Jiyu Wangwan. These immortal laws roared out and entangled the sluggish Jiyu Wangwan in an instant. Shu Chengqing grabbed it with one hand and grabbed the fairy sword that Jiyu Wangwan was proud of. This fairy sword originally wanted to move, but it was suppressed by the fairy law on Shu Chengqing's body. This immortal weapon belongs to me. Immortal weapons are beyond the scope of human nature, and it is difficult for a true immortal to possess an immortal weapon. Even in the bright world, the immortal weapon is only this one. But at this moment, the fairy weapon of Guangming world was tightly held in Shu Chengqing's hand and could not move. You, Junior, what are you going to do? Jiyu Wangwan was now trapped by Shu Chengqing's skyrocketing immortal law, and the powerful true immortal could not move at all. Shu Chengqing, you just forcibly reached the realm of true immortals through the true immortal talisman. I swear, I will definitely pull out your muscles and bones, so that all of you in the original world will never be reincarnated. He also didn't expect that Shu Chengqing, who used the second true immortal talisman, would be so powerful. Not only him, but all the 3,000 powerful men in front of the ancient divine mirror were shocked again. How is it possible with such a number of caves? What the hell is he? The power of the 48 cave gods is unheard of in ancient and modern times. Once this original holy lord grows up, will there be a way for us to survive? Fortunately, he just used the true immortal talisman to forcibly break his shackles. With his talent, if he wants to completely break through to the true immortal realm, he doesn't know that it will take until the year of the monkey and the horse and the moon. While everyone was horrified, they also breathed a sigh of relief. This Shu Chengqing's background was unprecedented, but it also meant that Shu Chengqing needed a large amount of liquid immortal energy or opportunities to break through to become a true immortal. Even the great world under the Taichu Golden List may not be able to support Shu Chengqing, not to mention that he has offended the great world of light. So until now, no one wants to win over Shu Chengqing. The great world of light ranks 53rd on the Taichu Golden List and is blessed by the Taichu Immortal World. So what if Shu Chengqing can defeat Jiyu Wangwan? So what if he wins the fairy sword of the great world of light? You don't have to give it back later. As for Jiyu Wangwan himself, let alone killing a true immortal is extremely difficult. Even if he could kill him, Shu Chengqing would definitely not dare. Moreover, another true immortal ancestor in the great world of light has reached the late stage of true immortal. The best result is that this matter ends here, and the bright world does not pursue Shu Chengqing's previous crimes, but the price is that Shu Chengqing hands over his own opportunities. Only in this way can the anger of the bright world be calmed. In the big world that does not enter the Taichu Golden List, there is no room for resistance at all. The original world, compared to the giant world of light, can indeed be described as a land of mountains and wilderness. But soon everyone's eyes started to jump, and they understood that something big was about to happen. This Shu Chengqing was really ruthless and brave. Outside the Shuangguang world, Shu Chengqing stared indifferently at the fairy weapon in his hand. He could feel the fear in the spirit of the fairy weapon. Shu Chengqing, I admit that our Guangming world has lost this time. You let me go, return my immortal weapon, and then give me the key to the mysterious lady, so that we can cancel everything. Ji Wangwan, who was trapped, believed that Xu Chengqing could achieve such an achievement because he must have opened a certain great treasure cave world of Zanni Gate. Otherwise, where did he get the true immortal talisman? Even in such a situation, Ji Wangwan did not think that he was at a disadvantage. Just because he has a backing, not only are there more powerful true immortals in the great world of light, but also because their great world of light belongs to the great world under the Taichu Golden List and is protected by the Taichu Immortal World. Xu Chengqing, who he transformed into, frowned. Ji Wangwan didn't have the consciousness of a loser at all. His left hand suddenly retracted, and the immortal law wrapped around Ji Wangwan's body was like gangrene attached to the bone, causing Ji Wangwan to scream. With every struggle, Ji Wangwan felt his cave world burning violently, causing him to scream in pain. This Xu Chengqing actually wants to wipe out all his immortal laws. Once the law of life and death in the true immortal law is eliminated, even the true immortal can be killed. Ever since he accepted the inheritance of the true immortal from the great world of light, he had been singing all the way, but now he was being toyed with at will by a junior. Ji Wangwan's eyes showed madness and hatred. Xu Chengqing, do you dare to kill me? I am the lord of the great world of light, and I am blessed by the Taichu immortal world. You dare to kill me? You dare to kill me? The screams spread throughout the world. Through the ancient divine mirror, the story of the true immortal Ji Wangwan has spread throughout the 3,000 worlds. His hair was disheveled, and the true immortal law on his body was being violently wiped out, and even the cave world began to dim. Everyone's eyelids jumped. This Xu Chengqing didn't play according to the routine. Shouldn't Xu Chengqing make peace with the bright world after making a name for himself and proving his strength? How dare he steal the bright world and now want to kill their powerful true immortal? Shocked, the true immortals of the bright world were suppressed by force. Shocked, someone got the real treasure of Xuanmen Gate. Shocked, someone wants to kill the powerful true immortal in the great world of Taichu Golden List. One piece of news spread throughout the 3,000 worlds, and even the top worlds also looked at it. There are powerful people from lower planes who are provoking the bright world, and even the powerful true immortals have been suppressed. That young man is not simple. Unfortunately, with his background, it is almost impossible to become a true immortal. Haha, it's not that easy to open the mysterious Mother's Gate. He probably just got a very small treasure cave. Interesting, it's a pity that such a good young man has offended the bright world, and we can't interfere. In the great world of light, outside a cave of heaven and earth, the prince of the Light Empire wearing a golden crown was cold all over. His father, a powerful true immortal, was suppressed by force. No one expected that a powerful true immortal would take action in person, but would be suppressed instead. The other true immortal ancestor is in retreat, I can't disturb him. We can only ask for help from other big worlds. My father must not fall outside the bright world. Ask for help from the great world of Wanyu, which is closest to the great world of Xuanguang, and ask for the help of the ancestor of Wanyu. The crown prince of the bright empire was not worried about Ji Wangwan's life. In the past, he wished that Ji Wangwan would die early, and then he would take over Ji Wangwan's true immortal inheritance and become a true immortal. Not only the great world of light, but also all other great worlds under the Taichu Golden List, there are methods to ensure that true immortals will appear in every generation. The emperors of the Bright Empire represent a kind of true immortal inheritance, which can allow powerful people at the emperor level to smoothly enter the true immortal. But now Ji Wangwan is in the world of Xuanguang. Once he dies, the inheritance of the true immortal will be lost. Just like the great world of Hengsha, which was about to be deprived of the Taichu Gold List, the true immortals died unexpectedly elsewhere, resulting in the loss of the true immortal inheritance. As far as the bright world is concerned, even if Ji Wangwan wants to die, he will die in the bright world. The great world of Wanyu, ranked 103rd, is a great world that does not belong to the Taichu Golden List. But the current master of the great world of Wanyu is the ancestor of the Wanyu holy sect, Lian Daotian, who is in the middle stage of true immortal cultivation. Of course he also heard about what happened in the Xuanguang world. Senior Lian Daotian, please help me in the great world of light. You must not let the inheritance of the true immortals of my great world of light fall into the hands of others. I, the great world of Guangming, will definitely go all out to help the great world of Wanyu win the title of Taichu Gold List. Lian Daotian crushed Prince Guangming's jade slip. He has survived for millions of years, and his breakthrough to the late true immortal stage is far away. His only wish now is to bring the Wanyu holy sect one step closer and become a big world under the Taichu Golden List. Although his cultivation is powerful, he missed the Taichu Golden List. Once he dies, the entire Wanyu sacred sect will fall apart. If this bright world is willing to help the Wanyu holy sect, then this deal is worth it. With a wave of his hand, he covered countless distances in the blink of an eye, constantly traveling through the universe and starry sky. Although the Wanyu holy sect is far away from the destroyed Shuangguang world, for a true immortal level powerhouse, this is not a problem. At this moment, everyone in the 3000 worlds was staring at the Shuangguang world. What frightened them even more was that a true immortal kept screaming in their sight. The true immortal Jiyu Wangwan suffered tremendous torture under everyone's gaze, which made everyone tremble with fear. How dare this young man? What is he doing? The immortal law in Jiyu Wangwan is being wiped out by another powerful immortal law. It is a pity that Shu Chengqing's world tree is helping the main body to condense more immortal laws, and has no time to transform the immortal laws of this true immortal powerhouse. Otherwise, Jiyu Wangwan would have been refined long ago. Even so, everyone was frightened. How many years has it been since such a big event happened in the 3000 realms? In the 3000 worlds, most of the great worlds with true immortals are protected by the Taichu Golden List. Other true immortals, as long as they don't go too far, will deliberately avoid fighting between true immortals. But now, a true immortal is about to fall. The power of Shu Chengqing's true immortal talisman is about to disappear. Does he have anything else to rely on? Otherwise, how could he dare to refine a living true immortal? There are other true immortals in the bright world who will not let Jiyu Huang die easily. Look, another strong person is coming across the border. While Shu Chengqing was refining Jiyu Wangwan, from outside the sky, a 1,000-foot-tall shadow floated in the starry sky. The shadow gradually condensed into the image of an old man. He was surrounded by 18 cave worlds. The immortal laws above the cave world were all 3 meters long. This is the sign of the middle stage of true immortality. I know that in the great world of Wanyu, the true immortals are connected to the sky. This junior, please release the Emperor of Light. As he spoke, the entire starry sky trembled. Ancestor Wanyu, please save me, there will be consequences for the Jiyu family. Jiyu Wangwan finally waited for rescue and immediately started struggling desperately. In front of the ancient mirror, everyone's eyes widened, and then they recognized the identity of the person. It's Lian Daotian, a strong man in the middle stage of true immortal. He's here to rescue Jiyu Wangwan. The huge immortal law came over, Shu Chengqing's immortal law condensed in his hands, and collided with the old man. There are not as many cave worlds in the old man's body as Shu Chengqing's, but the laws of immortality are extremely strong and are not at the same level as Jiyu Wangwan. The two of them have fought hundreds of millions of times in an instant. Every collision means a world in the middle of 1,000 or even a big one. The end of the world. At the same time, Jiyu Wangwan felt the strange laws on his body fade away and instantly used all his tricks. He finally broke through Shu Chengqing's shackles. Shu Chengqing frowned slightly, and his true immortal law retracted into his body in an instant. The strength of this old man was much higher than that of Jiyu Wangwan. At this level, with Shu Chengqing's current avatar, it may be difficult to win. Moreover, the power of the true immortal talisman is about to fade away, so can the main body, which is condensing the long chain of immortal laws, come forward. The old man instantly picked up the injured Jiyu Wangwan, and the latter blocked the interference, and the law of life was completely released. In the blink of an eye, the scarred true immortal powerhouse returned to its peak. Jiyu Wangwan looked at Shu Chengqing with a look full of hatred. Presumably, his story has spread throughout the 3,000 worlds. The powerful true immortal was almost killed by a junior, and he has lost all face. Not only that, he also lost his fairy weapon. The spirit of the weapon inside has been suppressed, and the power of the fairy law has been lost. This fairy weapon is already a piece of scrap metal. The source of all this is the person in front of you. Ancestor Wanyu, this Shu Chengqing has a big secret. Let's work together to kill him and peek into his memory. He should have received some inheritance from the Xuanmen Gate. Otherwise, how could a mere mountain man who came out of the original world have such a good fortune? Although Jiyu Wangwan has recovered his cultivation, he is still no match for Shu Changqing. Even the ancestor of Wanyu has experienced the power of Shu Changqing in a short period of time. With his cultivation in the middle stage of true immortal, he couldn't defeat Shu Changqing in a short period of time. That's why the two decided to join forces, which attracted the attention of countless people in the 3,000 worlds. Two veteran true immortals actually wanted to join forces to deal with a peerless genius who had not yet become an immortal. Of course, they have another way, which is to wait for the effect of Shu Changqing's true immortal talisman to completely fade. Shu Changqing reached the level of a true immortal through unconventional means, and it is impossible to maintain the level of a true immortal forever. Once the true immortal talisman fades away, Shu Changqing will be nothing more than a bug on the chopping board. The true immortal laws gathered together, and the two of them opened countless space faults in an instant, annihilating all nearby time and space flows, blocking the space to prevent Shu Changqing from escaping, and at the same time, the immortal laws also came towards Shu Changqing. The sky collapsed and the earth shattered, and at the junction of the original world and the Shuangguang world, a turbulent tide of time and space once again set off, and then a boundless sea was formed. Of course, this boundary sea was created deliberately by Shu Changqing, in order to prevent the original world from being attacked by the aftermath of the true immortal level. You, a junior, at this time, still want to protect the original world, watch me destroy the original Holy Land first. Jiyu Wangwan also understood at this moment that Shu Changqing cared deeply about this primitive world. Thinking that his immortal weapon, his son, and himself had all fallen into the hands of Shu Changqing, Jiyu Wangwan's eyes became filled with hatred. The huge immortal law finger suddenly pointed in the direction of the original world. This was a hateful blow from a powerful true immortal. A world at the level of the original world would definitely not be able to withstand it. Shu Changqing, who was at ease, withstood a full blow from the powerful true immortal. The immortal laws on his body began to dim, and the power given by the true immortal talisman gradually faded away. Ha ha ha, Shu Changqing, you are still too young. I didn't expect you to have such deep feelings for the original world. Now that the power of your true immortal talisman has faded, next I want you to taste the power of caring for someone on your own. Shu Changqing looked at his increasingly weak body, but his expression remained unchanged. I originally wanted to use this body to play with you, but fortunately, forget it. Are you guys ready? In the great world of feathering, true immortal Shang Ming is here to help. The great world of the sky, the true immortal Warong, come to help. ... Suddenly, in the starry sky, a powerful wave of energy appeared again. A full 8 powerful true immortals descended on the shattered Shuangguang world. These powerful true immortals come from different big worlds, and most of them, like the ancestors of the universe, are greedy for the treasures that may exist in Shu Changqing's body. They all looked at Shu Changqing, with a deep look of greed. Wo-ri, the 8 powerful true immortals are all fighting for that Shu Changqing. Everyone is not guilty of carrying a jade, but Shu Changqing has no backing. Jiyu Wangwan and Ancestor Wanyu showed gloomy expressions. These true immortals had not appeared for a long time, but they appeared at this time. It was definitely not to help them. They also took a fancy to the external things behind Shu Changqing. In addition to the true immortal talisman, Shu Changqing must have other treasures. Especially the secret of the Zan Ni gate. Shu Changqing has at least 5 keys to the Zan Ni. Otherwise, he would not be able to obtain such a heaven-defying treasure as the true immortal talisman. And everyone in the original Holy Land in Shu Changqing Cave Heaven once again experienced a roller coaster-like feeling. The 8 powerful true immortals, do they still have a way to survive in the original world? Together with Jiyu Wangwan and the ancestor of the world, these are 10 true immortals. Changqing, if you can escape, escape first. Lord Holy Lord, we can use the power of the cave to buy you time. You should wait for the right moment and run away first. The people of the original Holy Land shouted in the cave of Shu Changqing, and they were willing to dedicate their strength to Shu Changqing. With the potential shown by Shu Changqing, once he grows up, these true immortals who come will not have good fruits in the future. However, Shu Changqing's voice made everyone in the original Holy Land look at each other. It doesn't matter, these 10 unworthy true immortals are just clowns. Is the real fairy a clown? Are you kidding me, Lord Holy Lord? Or does he have some backup plan? Qingshe and Tianj, you must meditate carefully on the Immortal Sutra of Transformation and Freedom I taught you. This is one of the capitals for you to become a peerless genius. And Shu Chengqing's words once again reached the ears of everyone in the original Holy Land, especially Su Qingshe and Su Tianj. Their eyes widened suddenly, and they understood something in an instant. I understand, it's his clone of ZZ. Others were confused, but Su Qingshe and Su Tianj still looked incredulous. When Master comes back this time, he will give us a supreme immortal sutra called his transformation into freedom. Immortal scripture. Everyone looked solemn. Even the original Holy Land, which was once at its peak, had no technique that dared to call it the immortal scripture. Not to mention the original Holy Land, not even the Great World of Light, or even the top 10 great worlds, would dare to call a certain technique an immortal sutra. At our current level, we can't even scratch the surface of this immortal sutra, but we do know its ability to transform into freedom. In the long river of time, condense your own perfect clone. I understand, the master who appears in front of us now is just his clone condensed with his own incarnation. Everyone's eyes widened, and then they showed a look of disbelief. In other words, the Holy Lord outside who can compete with the true immortal is still not his true body. So how powerful is his body? In the outside world, the arrival of the 10 true immortals has already attracted the attention of the 3,000 worlds. Everyone sentenced Shu Chengqing to death. Wang Tang also didn't expect that the deal he made today would have such a huge impact. What a pity, that Shu Chengqing. Xiao Xin, I will give you 10 bottles of liquid immortal energy, and you can help me predict the fate of Shu Chengqing. Shanqi Xiaoxin didn't worry about the numbers this time. He just fell into silence. It took a while before he gave his master an answer. It's impossible to predict. The only thing I know is that even if you die, Shu Chengqing will not die. Wang Tang was furious. In this situation, how could Shu Chengqing still survive? But what was in front of him was an ancient divine mirror, a middle-grade immortal weapon. How could something go wrong? He, Wang Tang, is also considered a peerless genius, possessing the strength close to that of a true immortal. He is sure that he will not die in the near future. According to the prediction of the immortal weapon, Shu Chengqing will definitely not die either. His eyes suddenly turned around and he looked at the extremely calm Shu Chengqing in the mirror. He did not look like a short-lived person. Mad, I made a bet. I'll ask my old man to save him, and I'll treat it as an investment. In front of the ancient divine mirror, basically most of the forces in the 3,000 worlds are focused on the Shuangguang world. Shuangguang Zhengzong never imagined that the Shuangguang world, which is located in a remote location in the 3,000 worlds, would one day attract such attention. The 10 true immortals each have their own motives at this moment. Their consciousnesses are floating above the stars in the universe, quietly watching the immortal laws on Shu Chengqing's body gradually dissipate. Some people couldn't help but snorted coldly. Hand over everything you have. It's your fault. You actually used something like the true immortal talisman in front of others. There are also the keys of the mysterious lady. I have 3 keys of the mysterious lady in the sky world. I only got some liquid immortal energy, but I didn't find the true immortal talisman. Huh, so you have 3 in the sky world. When the Hengsha ancestor died, was it your sky world that did it? Don't slander others. Our sky world has nothing to do with the death of ancestor Hengsha. The true immortal of the great world of Hengsha died a million years ago, but it is an unsolved case. Even the messengers sent by the Taichu immortal world did not find any problems. That's enough. This Shu Chengqing provoked my bright world, killed my son, and took away my immortal weapon. What to do with him is my business, so I won't trouble you all. You'd better please come back. Jiyu Wangwan smiled coldly. When he was suppressed by Shu Chengqing, these people did not come to support him. Now he wants to pick peaches. The other true immortals' faces remained unchanged, but they smiled coldly in their hearts. Jiyu Wangwan, a loser, was actually suppressed by a junior who had not yet become an immortal. What's more important is that when Jiyu Wangwan was suppressed, another true immortal in the Guangming world who was also extremely feared by everyone, Jiyu Cheng, a powerful late-stage true immortal, did not appear. That Jiyu Cheng has lived for an unknown number of years and has been in solitary confinement. Could it be that something went wrong? In this case, there will be only one Gu Wangwan left in the great world of light, and those of them who are ranked lower on the Taichu Golden list will not be afraid of the great world of light. All kinds of things. Let's capture this junior first and find out his secrets. In broad daylight, the plans of these powerful true immortals were unabashed, and all the 3,000 great world monks in front of the ancient mirror felt frightened. But in their eyes, Shu Changqing, whose fate was decided, still looked calm. His head was slightly tilted towards the sky, as if he was welcoming something to come. Shu Changqing originally had 48 cave worlds, but now there are fewer and fewer of them, and finally there are only 12 cave worlds left. It has fallen to the level of true immortal. Gu Wangwan couldn't bear it any longer, and the true immortal law on his body turned into a huge hand and fished for Shu Changqing. Suddenly, the entire space shook, and the space-time turbulence constructed by the 10 true immortals was forcibly broken through, and the terrifying aura was coming across countless distances and time. Gu Wangwan could only stop taking action and raised his head in horror like the other true immortals. A huge energy vortex appeared in the sky, accompanied by various laws of heaven, world, time, space, life and death, and destruction. A figure in a green gown appeared in a twisted shape in front of everyone. In front of the ancient mirror, everyone saw that Shu Changqing had fallen to the realm of true immortals. Some people couldn't help but sigh. This Shu Changqing was also a genius. Through the true immortal talisman, we can also get a glimpse of Shu Changqing's talent. This kind of talent is nothing more than a descendant of the ancient legend of the immortal world. But he was too young, and he offended the bright world and discovered his secret. It becomes even more difficult to reach the level of true immortal. A true immortal talisman can not only enhance the combat power of the big world, but also serve as a consultant for the powerful true immortal, and it is possible to break through the realm. But at this moment, everyone was shocked again. A huge terrifying vortex appeared in the starry sky where the Shuangguang world was. A man in blue robes who looked like a banished immortal walked out of the whirlpool. His face was obscured by the nameless fog, and his body exuded an extremely powerful aura of a true immortal. This aura instantly overwhelmed all the true immortals present, making everyone look horrified. What's even more terrifying is that the man in the green robe is dressed exactly the same as Shu Changqing. Is there any relationship between the two? This kind of aura must be that of a late-stage true immortal. Is he even interested in Shu Changqing? That's not right. Why is this man dressed the same as Shu Changqing? He can't be his teacher. Let me just say, there must be someone behind Shu Changqing's arrogance. In Shu Changqing's cave, everyone in the original Holy Land also noticed the changes outside. When they saw the figure in the green robe, everyone couldn't help but feel excited and horrified. They were all too familiar with this figure. After not seeing him for just 500 years, his cultivation had reached an incredible level. Everyone was horrified at the same time, but the 10 true immortals present felt as if they were facing a formidable enemy. The true immortal aura in this man has at least reached the late stage of true immortal, which is fundamentally different from those true immortals. In the late stage of true immortality, the long chains of immortality in each cave are 6 meters long, and the long chains of immortality will continue to circle and intersect in the cave, forming an immortal substance of immortality. This immortal substance is the most important substance that condenses the real world, and is also the basis for promotion to immortality. The late stage of true immortal is far beyond their current level. Gu Wangwan's heart froze and sweat dripped from his hands. If Shu Changqing was protected by this person, unless he called out his ancestor who had been in seclusion for millions of years. Senior, if you have anything to say, what is your relationship with Shu Changqing? The powerful true immortals of the sky world swallowed their saliva at this moment. He and the others were obsessed with greed. Unexpectedly, Shu Changqing, who was just born in the original Great World, actually had a powerful man from the late stage of true immortals as his backing. If they knew, they would not dare to come forward even if they were killed. In the late stage of true immortal, basically only the top 50 big worlds ranked in the Taichu Gold list can have these big worlds. These big worlds have existed for more than tens of millions of years, which are far beyond the comparison of rising stars like them. However, the man in azure robes who just appeared smiled. The nameless fog on their faces gradually dissipated, and everyone was shocked, with expressions of disbelief on their faces. The true immortal ancestor in the heavenly world is like being struck by lightning, and the true immortals in other great worlds are not much better. Jiyu Wangwan's expression was even more dull, with a look of fear on his face. Impossible. How could you be Shu Changqing? In front of the ancient divine mirror, all the monks in the 3,000 worlds were also stunned. They glanced back and forth between Shu Changqing's body and clones, and finally determined a fact. The real Shu Changqing turned out to be a super strong person above the late stage of true immortal. Wang Tang, the owner of the ancient divine mirror, was also confused at this moment. No wonder the ancient divine mirror weapon spirit said that even if he died, Shu Changqing would not die. A strong person in the late stage of true immortal can almost walk sideways in these 3,000 worlds. But the middle-aged man next to him looked serious. At this level, it's definitely not just the late true immortal. If he really takes action, I guess even this pavilion master won't be his opponent. Wang Tang looked horrified. The middle-aged man in front of him is Wang Chudao, the master of Baoguang Pavilion, a powerful man at the peak of the true immortal peak, and the father of his family. Otherwise, Wang Tang, who was not a true immortal, would have been chewed to pieces long ago with the immortal weapon in his hand. What, old man, are you old and confused? He has only practiced cultivation for less than 1,000 years. Wang Tang originally wanted to form a good relationship with Shu Changqing and ask their old man to save Shu Changqing, but he did not expect that Shu Changqing himself was a Wang Za. His cultivation level is even something that even the old man at the peak of the true immortal level can't see through. Wang Chudao snorted coldly. There is a sky outside the sky, and there are people outside the world. In the immortal world, there are geniuses like Shu Changqing. It's so hateful that this pavilion master gave birth to a waste like you. Wang Tang was immediately furious. You old guy, didn't you say before that my son Wang Tang has the talent of an immortal? With the help of the power of the system, Shu Changqing crossed from the chaotic space where the dark world is located to the mysterious light world where the Taichu universe is located. Even if Shu Changqing now has the strength of the peak of a true immortal, even a heavenly immortal can't compete with him, but he still can't do it across two huge universes with countless distances. After this moment came, only Shu Changqing's true immortal aura remained in the entire starry sky. He nodded towards the clone he had transformed into, and another huge vortex appeared in front of him. He transformed into a clone and stepped in. At the same time, his thoughts were transmitted to the ears of the people in the original Holy Land in one of the caves. Leave the rest to the main body. I will take you to another big universe, a place called the Forbidden World. When this vortex emerged, the pavilion master of Baoguang Pavilion, who was countless far away, showed his brilliant light. I went to a place that does not belong to the 3,000 worlds. This Shu Changqing is indeed very mysterious. Maybe I, Baoguang Pavilion, can do a deal with him. Some of the true immortals present were already extremely frightened. Among the 10 true immortals present, 5 do not belong to the great world named Taichu Golden List. Even if they were killed, the Taichu immortal realm would not care, so when they met the powerful people in the late true immortal stage, they gave in decisively. Original Holy Lord, this is an unintentional mistake on our part. Our Sky Great World is willing to give to the original Great World 100 medium thousand worlds, 50 of which are comparable to the power of world laws of Taoist Master. I, the Yuha Great World, am willing to give to the original Great World 10 bottles of liquid immortal energy and 10 pieces of Jidao Emperor weapon. We, Yao Yuan World, are willing to give you the elixir of life. Quote. 3 powerful true immortals compromised instantly and wanted to pay a huge price to appease Shu Changqing's anger. However, Shu Changqing's expression remained unchanged and he softly swallowed a sentence. If you add a true immortal arm, I will let you go. As soon as these words came out, everyone couldn't help but be horrified. The true immortal's arm is more than just an arm. It also contains at least 1/5 of the true immortal's power of the cave world and the power of the immortal law. This true immortal arm is enough to make these strong men who have just entered the true immortal realm fall to the true immortal realm. Shu Changqing, you are going too far. But before the other powerful true immortals from the big world could speak, Jiyu Wangwan started yelling. Everyone, you don't have to be afraid. Our bright world is blessed by the Taichu Golden List, and we are willing to protect you. And I, the Demon Fairy World, is ranked 79th on the Taichu Gold List. I don't believe that we can't deal with Shu Changqing just by joining forces. Quote. They, the true immortals under the Taichu Golden List, have begun to unite against Shu Changqing. And the powerful true immortals of the Heavenly Vault Great World couldn't help but scold their mothers. Those of you in the Great World under the Taichu Golden List have the blessing of the Taichu Immortal World. Shu Changqing shouldn't dare to go too far. But for those of us in the big world who are not on the Taichu Golden List, he can kill without any hindrance. True immortals are divided into early stages, middle stages, late stages, and peak stages. Breakthroughs in each stage will greatly increase the world of cave heaven and the laws of immortality. Even if they join forces, they will not be Shu Changqing's opponent. Thinking back to the Shuangguang world they were in now, it was said that it was destroyed by Shu Changqing. He didn't want the Sky Vault world and the Shuangguang world to suffer the same fate. Now the entire space is filled with Shu Changqing's aura, and they can't escape even if they want to. The strong man in the world of Sky Vault suddenly became cruel, and pulled hard on his left arm with his right hand, and various immortal laws flowed down the true immortal's arm. The Lord of Heaven groaned and threw the true immortal arm directly to Shu Changqing. His cultivation level is not bad. He has lost 1/5 of the true immortal law and still remains in the true immortal realm. But now he just wants to return to the world of Sky Vault and take a good rest. Evergreen True Immortal, as for other supplies, I will deliver them to the original world within a month. Shu Changqing looked calm and stuffed the real immortal's arm into the cave world. A space opened in the direction of the Lord of the Sky, and the Lord of the Sky jumped into it and left here. Everyone was shocked. The Lord of the Sky was really cruel to him, and he directly gave up 1/5 of the immortal laws. There were two powerful true immortals from the big world who looked at each other, decisively gave up their true immortal arms, and then begged Shu Changqing to let them go. Shu Changqing did not make things difficult for them and kept his promise. These true immortal arms were thrown into his cave by Shu Changqing, absorbed by the immortal weapon world tree, and then transformed into pure true immortal Tao fruits. In front of the ancient mirror, countless people showed various complex emotions, including panic, fear, and heartfelt admiration. This is a strong person in the late stage of true immortal. Just one word can make other true immortals who are superior have no choice but to follow. Except for the Lord of the Great World who is on the Taichu Golden List, the faces of the true immortals and powerful men in other great worlds are extremely ugly. After finally cultivating to become true immortals, how could they be willing to lose 1/5 of the laws of immortality? And the ancestor of Wanyu who first appeared had a face like pig liver, and his intestines had been destroyed countless times. He had directly attacked Shu Changqing before, how could Shu Changqing let him go? Shu Changqing looked at the remaining true immortals with an indifferent expression. You don't have much time. In 1 minute, you'd better make a choice. All the true immortals were frightened, and they looked to Jiyu Wangwan and others for help. Among them, Jiyu Wangwan and other big worlds under the Taichu Golden List all took a step forward. Shu Changqing, we are from the great world under the Taichu Golden List. We have received the inheritance of the true immortal and are protected by the Taichu Immortal World. You dare to kill us? If you enter the great world on the Taichu Golden List, you will gain the ability to inherit true immortals, ensuring that true immortals will appear in every generation in the great world. Unless this true immortal died outside the big world, just like the Hengsha world, the Hengsha ancestor died in the turbulent space outside the 3000 worlds. With the disappearance of the inherited true immortals of Hengsha Great World faced the fate of being deprived of the Taichu Golden List. Shu Changqing, that's it for today. We in the Great World are willing to pay compensation. In the future, we will also respect the original Great World. The original Great World was a lower-level plane in the eyes of these people, but now the freak Shu Changqing has appeared. With the strength of Shu Changqing in the late stage of True Immortal, it is not an exaggeration to rank 50 on the Taichu Golden List. It's just that there are only 100 places on the Taichu Gold List. No matter how strong you are, you can't get in if you don't have a place. Taichu Gold List. Shu Changqing's vision is already different now. All the big worlds under the Taichu Golden List will be protected by the Taichu Immortal Realm, especially the powerful true immortals, which basically eliminate the possibility of fighting each other. It is said that there were once true immortals from other big worlds who killed the inherited true immortals under the Taichu Golden List, causing the arrival of the messengers from the Taichu immortal realm, and finally directly erasing the big world where the peerless genius lived. But Xu Chengqing doesn't care about that. The arrival of a messenger from the Taichu immortal realm will be restricted by the laws of the Great Tao. Even if he arrives, his highest level of cultivation can only be the peak level of an immortal. Moreover, coming to the 3,000 realms requires adequate preparations. By the time the messenger from the immortal realm arrives, Xu Chengqing's cultivation will already be beyond his reach. He has now refined all the liquid immortal energy to be able to swallow enough liquid immortal energy to enter the realm of immortals. Xu Chengqing is not afraid of this messenger of the immortal realm. What these powerful true immortals thought they relied on was nothing more than a dog in Xu Chengqing's eyes. I have given you the opportunity, but you don't cherish it. In this case, I will personally come and collect the immortal laws from you. At this moment, Xu Chengqing's body was filled with the aura of greatness, and as he spoke, the aura of terror continued to spread. The expressions of those powerful true immortals changed drastically. Is this Xu Chengqing not afraid of being on the Taichu Golden List? Is he looking for death? However, no matter what they thought, the attack carrying the immortal law that surpassed the middle stage of true immortal reached the heads of several people in an instant. Several people even used their own magical weapons from the big world to resist the random blow from Xu Chengqing. All the 3,000 powerful men in the world in front of the ancient divine mirror were frightened. In their sight, Xu Chengqing's casual attack did not even use the power of the laws of the cave world, but directly penetrated the law defense array composed of 6 powerful true immortals. The bodies of the 6 true immortals flew upside down one after another, and the blood of the true immortals spilled across the starry sky, annihilating countless planets and stars. But soon their bodies were subject to unknown restrictions, and they flew towards Xu Chengqing at the center of the universe. The fairy weapons on his body were held in Xu Chengqing's hands, and a total of 5 ordinary fairy weapons were thrown into Xu Chengqing's cave world. The World Tree Artifact Spirit is extremely happy. Refining these immortal artifacts is enough for him to be promoted to a top-grade immortal artifact. Immortal artifacts are divided into ordinary artifacts, mid-grade artifacts, high-grade artifacts, and the top-grade artifact Xu Chengqing owns but has not yet used, the Heaven-Turning Seal. This gap is so huge. Is this the late stage of true immortal? No, I even think that the strength of the original Holy Lord is not a simple late-stage true immortal. He didn't even use the power of the cave just now. What is he going to do? Is he really going to kill these true immortals? 5 of them belong to the great world under the Taichu Golden List. Chapter 71. Violent screams reached everyone's ears through the ancient divine mirror. Among them, the powerful true immortals who did not belong to the Taichu Golden List were forcibly separated from the laws of immortality by Xu Chengqing, and then entered the world tree and condensed into reality. Immortal fruit. Original Holy Lord, please spare my life. I am willing to dedicate 1/5 of the immortal law. Xu Chengqing's face is indifferent. He gave you a chance but he didn't know how to grasp it. It's too late now. There was a bloody storm in the sky, the avenue wailed, the true immortal fell, and the world was filled with great sorrow. In front of the ancient mirror, all the powerful men in the world looked horrified. The true immortal had really fallen. The 3,000 realms are vast and boundless, but there are very few strong people who have reached the level of true immortals. Oh my god, this Xu Chengqing is famous enough to go down in history, but he actually killed a true immortal. Haha, if you kill a true immortal who does not belong to the Taichu Golden List, you will kill him. Can Xu Chengqing kill Ji Yu Wangwan and the others? However, soon, everyone's expressions changed drastically again. This Xu Chengqing is really brave. In front of the ancient mirror, Xu Chengqing looked at Ji Yu Wangwan and others with indifferent eyes. Now, it's your turn. Ji Yu Wangwan and the others' faces were like sieve chaff, and their expressions were extremely ugly. Rationally, they don't believe that Xu Chengqing really dares to kill them, but what if Xu Chengqing is a madman? Otherwise, who dares to ignore the rules of the Taichu immortal world? Even the top-ranked central world would not dare to casually kill the powerful true immortals in the great world under the Taichu Golden List. All the rules of this Taichu Golden List come from an ancient golden immortal in the Taichu immortal world. Anyone who disobeys his orders is equivalent to challenging his majesty. The levels of the Taichu immortal realm are distinct. At the level of the golden immortal, he is also an absolute big shot in the Taichu immortal world. The fight between two golden immortals is enough to cause countless collapses of all 3,000 realms. Where did this Shu Chengqing get the courage to defy the will of Taichu immortal realm? But they were soon wrong. Shu Chengqing had nothing to fear. Original Holy Lord, spare your life, and we are willing to pay countless prices. You can't kill us. We are a big world under the Taichu Golden List. If you kill us, it is equivalent to going against the entire Taichu immortal world. Shu Chengqing is not talking nonsense at all. These true immortals are much stronger than pure liquid immortal energy. Their immortal laws are enough to make the world tree produce thousands of excellent quality true immortal fruits. With the power of these true immortal Dao fruits and the accumulation of time, Shu Chengqing is sure to reach his true immortal limit. He now has 60 cave worlds. Combining these true immortal fruits and the liquid immortal energy obtained from the system, the cave worlds and immortal laws are enough to break through to an unprecedented realm. At that time, even the immortals were no match for him. Fellow Taoist, stop it. They are protected by Taichu immortal realm. You can't kill them. Original Holy Lord, don't make a mistake. No one dares to disobey the orders of the Taichu immortal realm. Shu Chengqing, are you crazy? The Taichu Golden List has been established for tens of millions of years, and no one can defy the will of the Taichu immortal world. Above the sky, many true immortal consciousnesses suddenly appeared. These powerful true immortals were all powerful men in the great world under the Taichu Golden List. At this moment, seeing that Shu Chengqing was really going to kill Jiyu Wangwan and others, he immediately came out to stop him. Shu Chengqing's eyes turned cold. When the original world was in disaster, why didn't you guys show up? Now be the peacemaker. Do you really think I, Shu Chengqing, have no temper? His voice suddenly spread throughout the starry sky. Now, I, Shu Chengqing, don't need you to teach me how to do things, go back. Shu Chengqing waved his hand violently, and the power of the great law directly wiped out all the consciousness of the true immortal. In front of the ancient divine mirror, all the people in the 3,000 realms looked at each other, trembling all over. This Shu Chengqing is so domineering and arrogant. Among the powerful true immortals who appeared just now, there are many who are ranked among the top 30 powerful true immortals in the world. However, their will was still destroyed by Shu Chengqing. Suddenly, all the people in the 3,000 worlds in front of the ancient divine mirror felt Shu Chengqing looking in their direction. His eyes were cold and cold. He discovered the existence of the ancient divine mirror, a middle-grade immortal weapon. As the owner of the ancient mirror, Wang Teng immediately noticed the gaze. Shu Chengqing inside the ancient mirror smiled coldly. Since you like to watch, let you watch as much as you want. Within the 3,000 worlds, anyone who harms my original world will end up like them. Jiyu Wangwan and others screamed miserably, and all the immortal laws on their bodies were absorbed by the world tree. The Dongtian world was crushed to pieces by Shu Chengqing, forming pure world power and importing it into the original world. The level of the entire original world has skyrocketed again. Congratulations to the host for raising the world level of the original world. The current level is the 9-star midterm world. The host will be rewarded with 100 bottles of liquid fairy energy, 10 Shenyang pills, and 100 world points. Shenyang pill. It can quickly transform the immortal energy in the cave world into immortal matter. The so-called immortal energy is actually that after Shu Chengqing became a true immortal, he inhaled liquid immortal energy, and then stored the liquid immortal energy in the cave world, which became the immortal energy. When you become more and more proficient in the true immortal law, you can use this immortal energy to condense immortal matter in your own cave world, and at the same time promote the growth of the cave world. This immortal substance is the key to advancing to the realm of immortals. After reaching the celestial immortal, all these cave worlds can truly be transformed into planets, stars, galaxies, and even life and civilization can be freely derived. Finally, a true micro-universe is created, reaching this level, which is above the immortals and belongs to the gods. To destroy a micro-universe or a medium-sized universe, even a powerful person at the level of a true immortal can do it. But creating a universe is only possible if it has at least divine laws. Micro-universes such as the Blue Star Universe and the Incense World must have had their true origin created by a powerful person at the level of a god. As for the big worlds that can be called medium-sized universes, such as the original Great World and the Shuangguang Great World, the people who created them must be above the gods. At this moment, as Shu Chengqing extracted the immortal laws of the remaining true immortals, these powerful true immortals who spanned the 3,000 realms were wiped out like dead dogs. Since the Taichu Golden List was promulgated by the Taichu Immortal Realm, collective deaths of powerful true immortals have rarely occurred in the 3,000 realms. Even if there is a true immortal who has inherited it, it will be death of old age or death of transcending tribulation. Of course, there are also some inherited immortals who died unnaturally. They should have been tricked by other big worlds, and they were kept extremely confidential. For example, the Hengsha ancestor was said to have been secretly killed by powerful men from other big worlds. But Shu Chengqing, in front of the ancient immortal mirror, and under the witness of everyone, broke the rules of Taichu immortal world that had been set for tens of millions of years. In the big world under the Taichu Golden List, the 5 inherited true immortals who appeared here all died. In front of the ancient mirror, everyone felt that the sky was about to collapse, and some people dared to challenge the majesty of Taichu immortal realm. The 3,000 realms have been calm for too long, but now, it is time for the wind to rise. After those true immortals died, 5 shining crystals appeared on the spot. The crystal is transparent and filled with the ultimate power of the Great Law. Everyone looked horrified again. That is the inheritance of the true immortal crystal. If you swallow it, even a pig can become a true immortal in a short time. This is the supreme favor given by the Taichu immortal realm to the great world under the Taichu Golden List. My God, 5 true immortal crystals. Shu Chengqing, what is he going to do? If you give this thing to me, it will be worth it even if you treat it as a cow or a horse for him. Are you crazy? This Shu Chengqing will definitely be sanctioned by the Taichu immortal realm in the near future. This true immortal crystal will not die. Even if he gives it to others, he will eventually spit it out with the prophets. I suddenly thought of a question. The death of the golden immortal of inheritance means that 5 more places on the Taichu Gold List may be vacant in a million years. We, the world, will have hope. Shu Chengqing learned the origin of these inheritance crystals in just a short moment. It's just that he doesn't like these things at all. The limitations of this inheritance crystal are extremely high. Although it can allow people to break through to the level of true immortal, it basically reaches the peak of true immortality in the early or middle stage. He waved his hand, and 2 of the true immortal crystals floated towards the original Holy Land. He kept the other 3 for Yuan Yang, Chu Tai and Tian Yangtze. If there are no accidents, in the near future, 5 powerful men at the true immortal level will be born directly from the original Holy Land. Of course, this is just the beginning. The original world is no longer what it used to be. There are many geniuses in the Holy Land. With Shu Chengqing's support, it is not impossible to become an emperor or even a true immortal. In the end, Shu Chengqing disappeared in front of the ancient mirror, and the entire 3,000 worlds boiled because of this. Especially the big world on the Taichu Gold List felt that things were getting serious at this moment. Because Shu Chengqing killed 5 inherited true immortals, in these 5 big worlds, except for the bright world and 1 true immortal, there are no strong true immortals in other big worlds. This also means that the Taichu Golden List will be adjusted again. After the Shuangguang Great World incident, a meeting was immediately organized by the powerful true immortals in the Central Great World, which ranked first in the 3,000 Great Worlds. What happened here, I will report to Taichu Immortal Realm as soon as possible. There is another question, this Shu Chengqing, how should we, the big world under the Taichu Golden List, deal with it? In the 3,000 worlds, especially the top-ranked worlds, they must have powerful immortals sitting in command. But these powerful immortals are basically looking for breakthroughs, and they don't dare to take action easily. Once their strength breaks out, they are likely to be directly attracted by the Taichu immortal world and directly ascend. With the strength shown by Shu Chengqing, the immortal is no match for him at all. The powerful true immortal from the great world laughed and said, there is no need for us to take action. As far as I know, the true immortal Ji Yu Chang from the bright world broke through to the peak of true immortality a million years ago. If something like this happens in the bright world, it will be impossible for him to remain in seclusion even if he wants to. We in the big world can just sit on the sidelines and wait for the will of the messenger from the fairy world. To put it bluntly, it's because Shu Chengqing's idea is so solid that no one in the world is willing to take risks to avoid the fall of the true immortal in his own world. This Shu Chengqing is a master who is not easy to mess with. At this moment, Shu Changqing was sitting in the starry sky of the original world, and he made a breakthrough again. Ding! Congratulations to the host for integrating the Shuangguang world into the original world. The host will be rewarded with a 2-level improvement in cultivation and 100 world points. It was only at this moment that the entire Shuangguang world and the original world were truly integrated, and Shu Changqing's cultivation level was directly improved by 2 levels. This is because the system forced Shu Changqing to advance from the early stage of True Immortal to the late stage of True Immortal. His cave world directly increased from 60 to 100, and all the immortal laws in the cave increased from 1 meter in length to nearly 7 meters in length. Even if he is not far from the peak of the True Immortal, what is more important is that at the same level, the strong people in the late stage of the True Immortal only have 30 cave worlds, and Shu Changqing has several times as many as them. At this moment, Shu Changqing can defeat even those who are at the peak of the True Immortal realm or even some heavenly immortals. In one go, I can transform all the vitality of the immortal world into immortal matter, and I can truly create my own world. The powerful true immortals only condense the prototype of a world with caves and heavens. It can be called a self-contained, spiritually independent time and space. The powerful immortals transform all the immortal energy into immortal matter, giving their world growth, causing the world to gradually derive planets, stars, and galaxies. Until the powerful immortals evolve all the cave worlds into galaxies, generate the Big Bang in the body, and become the masters of the creation of the universe, thereby deriving a real micro-universe. At that time, I will be equivalent to the way of heaven in the micro-universe. Looking down at all living beings is the law of gods and the law of creation. Just in time, by refining all the immortal yang pills into immortal substances, I can enter the realm of immortals as soon as possible. The transformation of ordinary immortal energy into immortal matter requires a very slow speed, but with the Shenyang pill in hand at this moment, the transparent immortal matter soon appeared in Shu Changqing's cave. Once these immortal substances were formed, they turned into oceans and land in the cave world. This is the true prototype of the world. Shu Changqing is moving towards the level of immortality step by step. The Forbidden World, somewhere in a primitive jungle. After going through untold hardships, the 2 people and 1 dog finally solved the mystery and arrived at a broken stone cave. Following the guidance of the compass in the fat Taoist's hand, they passed through the cave and kept going in. Fat man, you'd better be more reliable. Why is there the Evergreen Emperor's tomb here? Dog, I have long disliked you. Are you looking for death? The big black dog suddenly rushed forward and started fighting again with the fat Taoist in front. 1 person and 1 dog were having a great time, but the young man beside him sighed helplessly. Can you be more reliable and quickly find that big shot's belongings, otherwise the entire universe will be destroyed by the Supreme Being in the dark forbidden zone. Only then did the man and the dog stop, and the fat Taoist snorted. I can't bear to doubt my archaeological ability, Master Tao. Didn't you see it earlier? There is a space fault there. The 2 people and the dog looked up at the same time. In front of the cave, there was a transparent barrier. They moved forward timidly, crossing the barrier with great caution. Then what caught their eyes was an empty ancestral hall. On the tombstone in the ancestral hall, there are several words written in ancient times. My master, the tomb of Shu Changqing. At the broken time gap, Yi Xiaofan, the big black dog and the fat Taoist opened their eyes wide. There is only 1 hut directly in front of it. In the center of the hut is a wooden spiritual tablet with several large characters written in ancient Chinese characters. My master, the tomb of Shu Changqing. Shu Changqing, could it be the Evergreen Emperor? It seems that this place is indeed the tomb of the Evergreen Emperor. Both of them looked happy. When the big black dog and the fat Taoist were about to turn the hut upside down, the young man Yi Xiaofan stopped them. He said with a serious face, although the Evergreen Emperor is far away from our era, he once destroyed all the dark restricted areas and saved the lives of billions of creatures. We and the younger generations must have the most basic respect. After saying that, Yi Xiaofan went straight to the wooden spiritual throne, and then solemnly knelt down. Junior Yi Xiaofan, pay your respects to the Evergreen Emperor. The fat Taoist also looked embarrassed at this moment. He was used to digging people's graves, and he almost forgot that this boss was different from others. So he followed Yi Xiaofan's example and bowed before the spiritual throne. Even the big black dog imitated the actions of the 2 of them and bowed again and again. Senior, please protect us and we will surely survive the dark catastrophe. Senior, can you tell me if there is any treasure here? Mr. Duan also wants to borrow your treasure to do something for the people of the world. Bah, you fat man, if you had a treasure, you would have hidden it secretly by now. After the fat Taoist and the big black dog paid their respects, they immediately began to rummage through the boxes and cabinets and dig deep into the ground. The young man Yi Xiaofan had no choice but to hold his hands towards the spiritual throne again and said, Senior, please calm down. We have no choice but to do so. This world is facing the danger of annihilation by the supreme being of the dark forbidden zone. If seniors have any backup, please help these billions of living beings. The fat Taoist snorted. This is the tomb erected by Emperor Shi Tian for his master. Even if there is a backup, it is still left by Emperor Shi Tian. Suddenly, fat Taoist's face lit up. There was a hidden formation in the corner of the cabin. There is no doubt that there is some kind of secret hidden in this formation, and Yi Xiaofan and Big Black Dog also got involved. But this person and the dog had no clue about this formation, but the fat Taoist smiled proudly. All the powers above the secret realm gathered together and cast an inexplicable mark on the spot. And the corner of the formation continued to become clearer and appeared in front of everyone. Sure enough, it is a method used in the chaotic ancient times. If Pindao hadn't had 2 brushes, we would have returned empty-handed today. He laughed and looked at the continuously revealed formations, and suddenly his face became frightened. Not only him, but Yi Xiaofan and the big black dog next to him also became violently excited and filled with infinite fear. I saw a mummy appearing on the spot. From this mummy's body, there was a twist of the aura of the Great Law. From the moment he appeared, the whole space condensed an aura of great fear. The 2 of them sat down on the ground, their bodies trembling. That is the body of the great emperor. Is he still alive? I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Time seemed to freeze, 6 pairs of eyes stared at the mummy, and it suddenly became quiet. After a while, the 2 of them wiped the sweat from their heads and breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. It seems that he is already dead. Why is there a terrifying body of the great emperor here? However, they still did not dare to move, but from the corner of their eyes, they glanced at something next to the emperor's body. A huge wine gourd and a roll of parchment. The moment they saw the wine gourd, both of them looked horrified. This kind of aura was definitely at the level of a Jidao emperor soldier. It was just that the emperor's mummy attracted their attention just now, so a few people didn't pay attention. The fat Taoist and the big black dog's eyes shone at the same time and they ran towards that direction. Dead dog, this is the formation I opened, everything is mine. Woof woof, I saw this first, let go, or I will bite you to death. The young man Yi Xiaofan picked up the parchment that looked extremely simple, regardless of the man and the dog snatching it. Soon, he opened it curiously and saw that it was covered with scrawled writings. This should be the text from the ancient era, but Yi Xiaofan frowned, he didn't understand this kind of text. Stop grabbing it, it's a kind of extremely powerful imperial weapon, and you can't control it at all now. Fatty Duan, come and help me translate this ancient text. The fat Taoist and the big black dog looked at each other, and the huge treasure gourd was under the feet of one and the other. HMPH, how about we go out and divide the loot? One person and one dog temporarily stopped fighting, and the fat Taoist also picked up the parchment full of words. This parchment is of very high quality. It looks like it has not decayed for millions of years. Don't be ridiculous. What's written on it? Is it some kind of great emperor's technique? The big black dog was a little impatient, but saw that the fat Taoist's face turned serious at this moment. This seems to be a casual note written by the eternally arbitrary Emperor Shi Tian. The big black dog was shocked, and then he showed joy. Is there any peerless technique written down? Or is there a huge treasure buried there? The fat Taoist ignored him, then sat down cross-legged, started reading from the first page carefully, and spoke in a translator's tone. It has been 7 days since Master left. The 9 heavens and 10 earths are shattered. We can only live in the 8 lower realms. But the boundaries between the upper and lower realms are getting weaker and weaker. The 9 heavens and 10 earths and the 8 lower realms have merged into one. 9 heavens and 10 earths. 8 domains. The big black dog said at this moment. This should be talking about the upper and lower realms at the end of the ancient era. The master of Emperor Shitian left. Where did he go? Everyone was extremely confused, but the fat Taoist continued his translation. It has been 10 days since Master left. As the Stone King of the Lower Realm, I have temporarily unified the 8 realms of the Lower Realm. It has been a month since Master left. I stroked the treasure gourd, but there is still no news about him. Lu Shen comforted me and said that even if he is a true immortal, your master can handle it. It has been half a year since the master left. I broke through the Nirvana realm, which is the beginning of the secret realm of Shantai, and then followed the broken 9 heavens and 10 earths to find the master's figure. I didn't find the master, but I saw the remains of an immortal. His immortal blood spread all over the western region, igniting all the great religions and dark forbidden areas here. Haha, these people never imagined that they would be affected by the immortal's blood. Kill. The 2 of them and 1 dog are all numb. Have any immortals died in the ancient times? It has been a year since Master left. In this year, I have traveled all over the 9 heavens and 10 places of the ruined upper world, but I still haven't received any news from Master. It has been 2 years since Master left. I broke through to the King realm. In the past 2 years, I found the remains of 6 immortals. They can no longer die. 6 immortals died. The 2 people and the dog looked horrified. Did such a terrifying thing happen at the end of the ancient era? How did they die? Master, where are you? For me, for the sake of the 8 realms of the lower world, you went against the will of heaven and killed 6 immortals, even the true immortals. Have you really left Little Stone forever? The fat Taoist's voice trembled, and then he trembled. Killing 6 powerful true immortals, how is this possible? The fat Taoist trembled all over, and the hand holding the parchment fell to the ground, while the other person and the dog were equally horrified. Are you kidding? Kill 6 true immortals. Fatty, didn't you say that the Evergreen Emperor was beheaded by a true immortal? This is different from the news that fat Taoist got. According to the records of ancient ruins, the Evergreen Emperor was killed by a true immortal. Today's restricted world belongs to the Dharma ending period. Immortals have long become legends. Even the great emperor will only appear once every 10,000 years. If these great emperors want to live longer, they can only kill themselves and join in the dark restricted area, and rely on launching darkness to destroy the world to survive. And this great figure in the chaotic ancient times, the mysterious master of Emperor Shitian, actually once killed 6 true immortals. How could such a character exist in the world? The fat Taoist trembled and said, "This is the manuscript of Emperor Shitian. It shouldn't lie. Infinite my heavenly lord, what kind of existence is the Evergreen Emperor at his peak?" The young man Yi Xiaofan frowned. The Evergreen Emperor is so powerful, why have we never heard of it except you, fat Taoist? We even know a little bit about the Stone Heaven Emperor, but no one knows about the Evergreen Emperor. The big black dog smiled coldly, or this manuscript is fake. Otherwise, after millions of years of evolution, those dark restricted areas have submerged all records of the Evergreen Emperor in the long river of history. After all, this is an existence that can kill true immortals. It is really terrifying. Several people preferred the latter outcome. The 2 of them took a deep breath and calmed down. It has been 5 years since the master left. After the master, I became the 2nd monk to reach the peak of the immortal stage secret realm. I wiped out all the remaining forbidden forces one by one. Sendai secret realm. The 2nd. It can be seen from this information that this Emperor Shitian was not the first person to practice the 5 secret realms of the human body, but his master, Emperor Chengqing. In other words, the practice system they used in the end of Dharma era was actually founded by Emperor Chengqing. The 2 people and 1 dog looked shocked again. They looked back at the wooden memorial tablet, and they all worshipped Shu Chengqing's memorial tablet again. The Evergreen Emperor deserves to be worshipped by anyone in the Dharma ending era. But what they didn't know was that the 5 secret realms did come from Emperor Shitian, but Shu Chengqing was ahead of everyone. It has been 10 years since the master left. The leader of the great sect has revived, and I have learned something from fighting with him. After this battle, I merged with the Tianxin seal of the Forbidden World and became the emperor, but I did not feel Master's Tianxin seal. Master, have you really fallen? The great emperors of the Forbidden World will be integrated with the Tianxin seal. In the age of ending law, only one can be accommodated, but in the chaotic ancient times, multiple great emperors can coexist. But after Emperor Shitian became emperor, he did not sense the Tianxin mark of Emperor Changqing. The expressions of Yi Xiaofan and others also changed. It was obvious that the Evergreen Emperor had fallen at this time. He killed 6 true immortals, but he himself also fell, and even the mark of Tianxin was wiped out. I'm not willing to give in. I don't believe it. How could the master have fallen? He should have gone to the fairyland. I'm going to the fairyland to find him. From Emperor Shi Tian's words, several people could feel Emperor Shi Tian's despair and unwillingness. They could not understand this feeling as outsiders. Hey, Emperor Shishan is indeed a man of temperament, but the mark of Tianxin that symbolizes the emperor is gone. The Evergreen Emperor must have fallen by then. Yi Xiaofan sighed deeply. He also thought of his master, who paid a huge price in order to lift the curse of his holy body. He clenched his hands tightly, but his heart was extremely determined. Even if he was burdened with the holy body curse, he, Yi Xiaofan, would definitely be able to break it. It has been 16 years since Master left, and it has been several years since I became emperor. I tried to open the passage to the immortal realm, but failed. This year, the remaining forces in the Forbidden Zone communicated with the Dark Immortal Realm and resurrected the remains of the 6 former true immortals. They could briefly exert the power of the true immortals in an attempt to destroy the great world of the Forbidden Zone. I fought with it, but at this moment, my foundation is still shallow, and I am still far away from being a true immortal. Even if Lu Shen and I join forces, we are no match for this collection of remains of a true immortal. The eyes of 2 people and 1 dog widened at the same time. At this moment, I truly understood how powerful the Master is, and what kind of power the Master possesses who can defeat 6 true immortals. It's hard for me to imagine that after Master broke through to the Great Emperor level, he could kill 6 true immortals, but I couldn't even defeat 1 crippled true immortal. Yi Xiaofan and others took a breath of cold air. The Shishan Emperor, who has been arbitrary for eternity, is far inferior to the Evergreen Emperor at the stage of the Great Emperor. How does the latter practice? But at this time, for the sake of the Forbidden World, I have to use what the Master left for me. Master left me 3 Jadao Emperor puppets. I don't know where Master got the Jadao Emperor puppets from. Worry. The Emperor's puppet, what is this? Yi Xiaofan, on the other hand, looked at the mummy of the Great Emperor not far away, and his eyelids twitched. No way. These 3 puppets are far beyond ordinary emperors. Plus Lu Shen and I, the 5 of us will join forces to fight against the true immortal. In the end, we won at a great price. 2 of the 3 puppets of the Great Emperor were broken. After this battle, I finally no longer insist on entering the fairyland. My foundation is not enough, I still need to settle down. Quote. The fat Taoist turned the scroll faster and faster, and the parchment was almost finished. It has been 20 years since the Master left. I have gradually come into contact with the secret realm above the immortal platform. If the true immortal appears again, I can definitely beat the shit out of him. Quote. It has been 50 years since Master left, and I still don't have any news about Master, but my current knowledge is enough. I want to open up the immortal realm and enter it. I hid the treasure gourd and the last broken puppet of the Great Emperor in the space-time gap, and placed it together with the Master's spirit. Wait me back. The fat Taoist had turned the parchment to the last page, and his notes stopped abruptly. No more. I am listening with great enthusiasm. Is Emperor Shi Tian going to the immortal realm and not coming back? The big black dog's mouth was full of saliva, as if he was still digesting the news he had just received. That is to say, the mummy emperor is actually the emperor's puppet made by Emperor Changqing. Worry, how could a powerful man of the emperor's level be made into a puppet? The 2 people and the dog looked back at the mummy of the great emperor at the same time. This glance didn't matter, it scared a few people out of their wits. Boom, boom. The sound of heartbeats beat in the small space, and Yi Xiaofan and others were sure that this was not their own heartbeats. They stared at the emperor's body in great horror. The mummy emperor's heartbeat is getting faster and faster, and the skin and bones on his body are getting lighter and lighter, replaced by normal human flesh and blood. At the same time, his pupils began to tremble, and he instantly transformed into the appearance of a middle-aged man, with strong power of the great law emerging from his body. This power of law was actually incompatible with the laws of the restricted world. Who are you? What is the relationship with my master, the Evergreen Emperor? The mummy transformed into a cold middle-aged man in an instant, and the aura on his body was terrifying. This kind of aura cannot be produced by even the great emperor families in the Forbidden World and the helmsmen of various holy places. With a splash, the two people and one dog were breathless by the middle-aged man's breath, and they all knelt on the ground. "Senior, we don't mean to offend." The fat Taoist was trembling, looking extremely frightened. If there is no mistake, this middle-aged man is definitely a powerful emperor. The middle-aged man was sitting cross-legged, but now he stood up. His eyes were extremely indifferent, and the power of the great law of the great principle retracted from his body. The laws of heaven between your fingers are constantly operating. Although he is a puppet, except for surrendering his will to Shu Changqing, there are no restrictions on the use of the law of the great Tao. It only took a short moment for him to realize his situation. Shu Changqing created him and then gave him to Shu Changqing's apprentice Shi Tianao. 2 of the 3 of them died in the fight with the real immortal. Even he fell into a deep sleep after the battle. Now that he wakes up, his strength is at the level of an ordinary emperor at most. It turns out that millions of years have passed, and both the master and the little master are gone. Are these people from the Forbidden World? As the middle-aged man's aura shrank, Yi Xiaofan and others finally breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that the middle-aged man did not want their lives. The middle-aged man walked to Shu Changqing's memorial tablet, then prostrated himself deeply, unable to kneel for a long time. Yi Xiaofan and others looked at each other. This middle-aged man should be the puppet of the Jadao Emperor mentioned by Emperor Shi Tian. It's just that their moods are very complicated now. How can the majestic emperor be made into a puppet in the eyes of people like Changqing Emperor? The realm they strive for is nothing in front of the evergreen emperor. But the big black dog was terrified and trembling all over. The feeling this middle-aged man gave him was actually much more terrifying than his master, Emperor Wuzhong, and far more terrifying than the living emperor. And looking at the attitude of this middle-aged man, even if millions of years have passed, he still surrenders to the evergreen emperor who has already belonged to the dust of history. The latter is truly terrifying to the extreme. Yi Xiaofan looked at the puppet of the emperor who couldn't kneel down, and an idea suddenly came to his mind. Isn't this a ready-made powerful emperor? He bowed forward sharply. In the past, the Evergreen Emperor and the Stone Emperor both destroyed the Dark Forbidden Zone and saved hundreds of millions of creatures for our human race. They were role models for us. Holy Body Yi Xiaofan asked the seniors to take action to save billions of living beings in the Dharma-ending age. We are grateful. The fat Taoist's eyes moved. Is this reliable? According to the Shishan Emperor's manual, this emperor is not normal and is just a puppet emperor made by the Evergreen Emperor. Although he is far stronger than himself and others, how much strength can he still exert after millions of years? More importantly, since he has no sense of independence of his own, will he agree to the request of himself and others? Unexpectedly, the middle-aged man stood up and looked back at Yi Xiaofan and others. He said 2 words indifferently, "Okay." This time it was Yi Xiaofan and others' turn to be shocked. It went so smoothly. Before I fell asleep, my little master told me that if the dark restricted area appears again, I can destroy it on my behalf. Yi Xiaofan and others were overjoyed, but the middle-aged man's body was already facing the Forbidden World. The Forbidden World is also turbulent. Those restricted area supreme beings have already taken action. Yi Xiaofan also received information from the outside world, and his face suddenly became extremely ugly. The owner of the restricted area had begun to destroy the world and remove all life in the galaxy. After tens of thousands of years, the dark turmoil has begun again. In the Forbidden World, in various depths of the universe, the heaven and the earth are rolling, various natural disasters are coming, and even ordinary people feel that something is wrong. The monks in the Forbidden World are even more desperate. In the Forbidden World, there are more than 20 dark forbidden areas under the deposition of millions of years. At this moment, extremely terrifying auras appeared in all directions of the restricted area, and they revealed a look of decay. You, the immortal lord of the immortal mountain, are not dead yet. Haha, I still want to take a chance on the road to becoming an immortal. How can I die? The people from Hidden Dragon's Nest didn't show up. Are they all dead? More than 20 supremes of the dark forbidden zone looked at each other with fear in their eyes, but what puzzled them was that no one in the hidden dragon's nest in the dark forbidden zone had woken up this time. Ignore them, let's get started, we need to replenish our energy quickly. Start from the Beidou Star region, where the vitality is the strongest. Several owners of the forbidden area rushed to the Holy Land of Cultivation, the Beidou Star territory. Countless monks in the Beidou Star territory showed fear on their faces, but more monks were ready. Saints, great saints, and Quasi-Emperor level experts appeared one after another. Even if you die, you can't die in frustration. That was Emperor Lian from 80,000 years ago. He was once the great emperor of the demon clan, but now he has become a part of the evil. There is also the ancient Emperor Tianyu from 120,000 years ago. This old guy is not dead yet. Haha, these bugs, we once respected them so much, but now they are a cancer on the entire universe. Several restricted area supremes snorted coldly, and their huge palms easily penetrated the defenses composed of many quasi-emperors. What do you ants know? The great emperor only lasts 10,000 years. Even if you kill yourself like me, you will only live tens of thousands more years, which is far from immortality. But by devoting your lives, you can give me time to take a chance on the unknown road to becoming an immortal. Becoming an immortal and becoming an immortal is the true immortality. While they were talking, all resistance in the entire Beidou Star territory was ineffective, and everyone looked desperate. However, suddenly, the expressions of the masters of these forbidden areas changed drastically, and they all looked in one direction. A middle-aged man appeared in the sky with two people and a dog wrapped around him. When Yi Xiaofan saw what was happening in the Beidou Star territory, his expression suddenly changed. There are 8 supreme beings in the restricted area. Can this puppet emperor stop them? Senior, be careful. But before he finished speaking, his whole expression froze. The middle-aged man in front of him didn't say much. A huge black hole appeared from the middle of his body, and in the black hole floated the power of laws that did not belong to the forbidden world. The palm containing the law of the Great Avenue suddenly slapped those dark supremes. These ancient emperors who became enlightened tens of thousands of years ago fell directly without even farting. This Jidao puppet can only exert the strength of an ordinary emperor, but this ordinary emperor is calculated according to the emperor of the Taichu universe. Back then, the 3 Jidao great emperor puppets and the unground Shi Tiandi were able to compete with the powerful true immortal. The powerful emperor of the Taichu universe is far stronger than the emperor of this world. And this kind of supreme being who cuts himself with one sword is not even as strong as his combined power. The middle-aged man left a sentence. I will kill other restricted area supremes. He floated away, while everyone in the Beidou Star territory was stunned and looked in disbelief. They didn't react until the whole universe started to wail. 8 supremes died. He was slapped to death by a peerless strong man. Holy body, who is that senior? Could it be that someone has proved it? No, the Tianxin mark of this generation of great emperors is still there, and no one can prove it. In the Beidou Star territory, there were great sages and quasi-emperors who looked at Yi Xiaofan. Yi Xiaofan and the others were still in shock. What happened? Yi Xiaofan only reacted when he heard the seniors from the Beidou Star territory asking. It's the Evergreen Emperor. Evergreen Emperor, who is this emperor? There seems to be no record in the past hundreds of thousands of years. And even if he can live to the second life, the emperor's total lifespan is only tens of thousands of years. How does this existence live to this day? And Yi Xiaofan reminded, Evergreen Emperor is a figure from the chaotic ancient times. The powerful men in the Beidou Star territory all showed doubts. They knew nothing about this character. And some powerful quasi-emperors who were about to die of old age suddenly showed their thoughts. They seemed to have seen this name in ancient books. Impossible. The Evergreen Emperor is a figure from the chaotic ancient times. How can he be alive now? The Evergreen Emperor is just a legendary figure. It's not necessarily true or false. An old leader of a great religion suddenly shouted, his eyes filled with horror. The others quickly looked at the old leader, who looked almost crazy. Miao Guang holy cult originated from the wilderness of the lower realm at the end of the ancient era. It has been destroyed by the dark restricted area many times in its millions of years of history, but some ancient books have been preserved. This Evergreen Emperor has a great background. The Shishan Emperor, who has been arbitrary for eternity and pioneered the practice of future generations, is said to be the disciple of the Evergreen Emperor. As the old leader revealed the identity of the Evergreen Emperor, all the practitioners in the Beidou Star territory were once again shocked. Although Emperor Shishin was millions of years away from their Dharma-ending era, his name is still resounding even now. And this Evergreen Emperor is actually the master of Emperor Shitian. Such a huge background. Yi Xiaofan and others were also surprised. They didn't expect that someone in the Beidou Star region would know the identity of the Evergreen Emperor. The old leader still looked excited. Not only that, there is such a record in ancient books about the Evergreen Emperor. The old leader scanned everyone's faces one by one and said one sentence. At the end of the ancient chaotic era, there is Emperor Chengqing who destroys all dark restricted areas. Everyone roared immediately. They are all outstanding practitioners in the forbidden world and know many secrets. At the end of the ancient era, all dark restricted areas were destroyed in an instant, and no one knew what happened during that time. However, people speculated that it was Emperor Shishin who destroyed all forbidden areas, because at that time it seemed that only this powerful man who was arbitrary and powerful could do it. But now it seems that there is something else hidden. And all the ancient books recording the chaotic ancient era were destroyed in the annihilations of the dark restricted area. It is not easy for this old leader to retain an ancient book from the past. It turned out to be the Evergreen Emperor who destroyed all the dark restricted areas. When everyone was frightened, their heads could not help but fill up the memories of the past. After the ancient era, for hundreds of thousands of years, the powerful emperors could only die of old age and did not dare to establish a dark restricted area. It turns out that they were not only afraid of the Stone Emperor, but also the Evergreen Emperor. But why, even though we all know the name of Emperor Shishin, why is the name of the Evergreen Emperor not so famous? Everyone looked puzzled, but the old leader who was the first to reveal the news suddenly shouted. Why? Because these dark restricted areas are scary. I'm afraid that the Evergreen Emperor is not dead. One stone heavenly emperor is enough, let alone the Evergreen Emperor who is more terrifying than him. Is the Evergreen Emperor more terrifying than the Stone Emperor? Everyone was a little puzzled. At the end of the ancient chaotic era, there is Emperor Chengqing who destroys all dark restricted areas. It is suspected that he created the method of cultivating the 5 secret realms of the human body, became the first emperor to use his body to fuse the mark of the heart of heaven, and defeated the true immortals, which is unparalleled in the world. In a short period of time, the old leader told all his stories about the Evergreen Emperor. In the hearts of other practitioners, it was as frightening as the galloping horses. The first emperor to integrate the Tianqin seal. It turns out that Emperor Shitian was not the first one. The first person to reach the pinnacle of what they were pursuing tirelessly was called the Evergreen Emperor. Everyone was horrified, but what horrified them even more was still behind. Counterattack against the true immortal. Is this really possible? Really? Why do the lords of the dark forbidden zone want to destroy the world? It's not for the almost impossible path to immortality. But the first great emperor in ancient and modern times, the Evergreen Emperor, actually killed a true immortal. Haha, old leader, although I admire the Evergreen Emperor very much, this kind of classic is too exaggerated. How could the emperor kill the true immortal? In this case, isn't the road to immortality pursued by those dark supremes just a joke? Some people find it incredible, but more people look at Yi Xiaofan, the person who first revealed the identity of the Evergreen Emperor. Holy body, is that the Evergreen Emperor? I think it should be the reincarnation of the Evergreen Emperor, otherwise how could he live to this day? This is the age of ending law. No matter how talented you are, even the current emperor can only live for more than 10,000 years. It's amazing that the second life he lived out was only 20 to 30,000 years in total. This Evergreen Emperor is regarded as a figure from ancient times. How is it possible that he is still alive today? Yi Xiaofan said, "You have misunderstood. That senior is a servant of the Evergreen Emperor. To be precise, it's the Emperor's puppet created by the Evergreen Emperor. My friends and I woke him up and asked him to help us fight against the dark forbidden zone." The surroundings suddenly became quiet, and everyone was stunned again. A servant of the Evergreen Emperor. The Emperor's puppet. The strong man who single-handedly destroyed the dark forbidden zone turned out to be just a puppet of the Evergreen Emperor. The great emperor is a puppet. How powerful is the Evergreen Emperor as the master? This completely subverted their understanding. Someone smiled bitterly and said, "The road to becoming an emperor that we have been pursuing so hard can actually be created by our ancestors. No wonder we are easily slaughtered by the dark restricted zone, we are too weak." Some people lamented endlessly that they and others were like frogs at the bottom of a well. Yi Xiaofan took a deep breath and continued. This senior was created by the Evergreen Emperor and was used to protect the Shishan Emperor before he became a Taoist. He and Emperor Shi Tian once fought side by side and defeated the true immortals together. It was not until millions of years later that he was awakened by us. Everyone's mood was agitated, and they suddenly understood the cause and effect. No wonder this senior can kill the Dark Forbidden Supreme at will. He once fought with a true immortal. While everyone was in a mood, there was an endless rain of blood in the starry sky again, and another Dark Lord fell. There is no doubt that this was all the means of the mysterious middle-aged man. Within the starry sky of the universe, the remaining Dark Lords no longer care about killing creatures and replenishing their vitality. Instead, he directly sublimated to the extreme and restored his cultivation level when he became enlightened. However, all this is in vain. Although part of the Jidao Emperor's puppet was damaged, it could still exert a strength equivalent to that of the Taichu Great Universe Emperor. The level of the Taichu universe is higher than the universe behind this big world, and the power of laws is not at the same level as the Great Emperor. It doesn't take much effort for him to kill these supreme beings. Who are you? How can you be so strong? Are you an immortal? I don't want to die. If I live for tens of thousands of years, I want to become an immortal. Endless rain of blood scattered throughout the forbidden world. These supreme beings died completely within a short period of time, but the matter was far from over. There are many sleeping supreme beings in various restricted areas, and they are trembling and waking up at this moment. The entire forbidden world was boiling again, and all the 20-odd Dark Lords who had awakened before were killed by the sudden appearance of the strong man. The boundless rain of blood rained down, awakening all the sleeping supreme beings in the dark forbidden zone. These former great emperors and ancient emperors broke through the divine source one after another, and their powerful aura spread throughout the entire forbidden world. But at this moment, their expressions were extremely frightening. Where did a strong man of this level come from? He is too powerful. Even if we are extremely advanced, we are no match for him. Hurry up and join forces. This is the great terror of the dark restricted area. Like us, maybe the tragedy of the ancient era will happen again. Others in the restricted world do not know the secrets of the ancient era, but how could they, the dark restricted world, not know? At the end of the ancient chaotic era, there was Emperor Chengqing, who destroyed all dark restricted areas. The emperor's evergreen reputation even lasted for hundreds of thousands of years, and for hundreds of thousands of years in future generations, all those who became emperors did not dare to think wrongly. Now, after millions of years of development, there are more than 20 restricted areas in the forbidden world, but many of them are too old and died directly in the sealed divine source. But even so, the total number of supreme beings in all restricted areas actually reached dozens of people. After millions of years of accumulation, except for a few great emperors who chose to sit down, most of the enlightened people finally chose to enter the dark restricted area and become lickers. Even in the dark forbidden zone itself, they didn't expect that there were so many of their own kind. Why aren't the people from Hidden Dragon's Nest here? Have they all died of old age? The Hidden Dragon's Nest in the dark forbidden zone is extremely powerful, but no one showed up when such a big thing happened. At this moment, in the Hidden Dragon's Nest in the dark restricted area, several figures stared at the mysterious middle-aged man who killed the Dark Supreme with horrified expressions. You can't be wrong. This kind of law aura does not belong to the restricted world, but belongs to the law aura of the Taichu universe. How is it possible? This person doesn't have blood like mine. How could he come here across countless time and distances? And the strength reaches the level of the Great Emperor, unless the Great Emperor Tuosin is awakened. These people were the Quasi-Emperor General of Tianyuan land who was hunted down by Shu Chengqing, and the Tianyuan Emperor Tuosin who was crippled by Shu Chengqing. They did not enter the heavenly realm as they wished, but came to the restricted world under the heavenly realm. Moreover, they have been in the forbidden world for hundreds of years. Even Emperor Tuosin has fully recovered now. Behind them, Emperor Tuosin was sitting cross-legged, and the dark star above his head shone with a unique light. At this moment, Tuosin is communicating with the upper world through his own blood, hoping that the upper world can send strong men to guide them. They also have their own ideas about the destruction of the Dark Forbidden Zone. When Emperor Tuosin wakes up and communicates with the upper world, all creatures in this world, including those Dark Supremes, will supplement their vitality. The so-called Dark Supreme can be easily dealt with by even these Quasi-Emperor 9th level divine generals. But now, there are changes. There is a powerful emperor from the Taichu universe coming to this world. The messenger from the heavenly realm is about to receive us at Feishenxing. We just need to be ready. As for the location of Feishenxing, I already know it. Emperor Tuosin slowly opened his eyes at this moment. The great emperor of Taichu universe is nothing to be afraid of. Now I have reached the Taoist level. Several god generals looked overjoyed. The great emperor Tuosin behind them had woken up, but the latter also looked at the mysterious middle-aged man in horror. If I swallow the great emperor of the Taichu universe, I might be able to reach the peak level of Taoist master. HMPH, I don't believe it. This middle-aged man has the same skills as Xu Changqing. Mentioning this person, Emperor Tuosin's hands still trembled slightly. This human being could beat himself up before becoming enlightened. How powerful would he be after becoming enlightened? Xu Changqing, when I enter the heavenly realm and practice hard, and if I have the chance to return to the Taichu universe, I will crush you to ashes. At this moment, all the creatures in the restricted world showed horror and despair. How should they deal with more than 100 avenue lickers? In the Beidou Star territory, all the monks looked at the mysterious middle-aged man who had returned from chasing the Dark Lord from the horizon. The middle-aged man seemed to have no emotions and looked at the gathering of Dark Lords. He stepped towards the gathering place of the Dark Supreme in one step in the void. The laws of the Great Avenue spread on his body, which was incompatible with the Forbidden World. Who are you? This kind of power of law does not belong to the restricted world, and you have not integrated the Tianxin seal. Why are you going against us? We can give you whatever you need. What do these ants have to protect? There are many of us, so what if you are the Emperor of Heaven? Although these Dark Supremes have joined forces, they are still afraid in their hearts. Even if they could join forces to deal with this middle-aged man, they and others would definitely suffer a lot of casualties. The middle-aged man had no nonsense at all. The laws of the Great Way on his body kept twisting, and the power of the laws of the world suddenly spurted out. My little master said that anyone who dares to establish a dark restricted area will be killed without mercy. The sky is shrouded in the power of strange laws, suppressing all the momentum of the Dark Supreme. All the Dark Lords are preparing to ascend to the extreme, otherwise, they will not be able to withstand even a single blow. But even so, the monks in Beidou Star territory and other places of practice all saw the signs. This mysterious senior who just appeared is not afraid of the Dark Forbidden Area's cooperation at all. The whole world can be saved. Who are you? How did you come to the Forbidden World? There was a sudden explosion, shooting from the direction of the hidden dragon's nest in the dark restricted area. Containing the ultimate attack, the piercing attack instantly appeared in front of the Emperor's puppet. The Emperor's puppet could barely block the attack, but most of its body was cut off. Senior, in the Beidou Star territory, Yi Xiaofan and others were in a panic. They did not expect that another accident would come. The strong men in the Beidou Star territory resolutely turned around and rushed to the Emperor's puppet at this moment, because he was the only remaining hope in the Forbidden World. The Jadao Emperor's puppet's face was still expressionless, and only half of his body was left looking in one direction from a distance. An extremely powerful aura came from the direction of the hidden dragon's nest, immediately shocking everyone. This aura far surpasses that of the Emperor of the Forbidden World, and surpasses the Emperor's puppet. An alien body gradually walked out of the hidden dragon's nest amidst the astonishment of everyone. Space and time intersect on him, and the entire time and space is in a twisting and struggling state. This is not the power of law that the Forbidden World can possess. Behind him, there were also several alien creatures, which were equally terrifying to the extreme. Who are they? Isn't this the Supreme from Hidden Dragon's Nest? Who cares? They should be friends, not enemies. We are saved. Those Dark Supremes cried with joy. Looking at the mysterious strong man who crossed over at that moment, some Supremes quickly ran forward and knelt down. Several adults, all wait. Before he finished speaking, The tall alien body at the front showed his left hand and grabbed the Dark Lord's neck. Then he showed a bloodthirsty sneer. I haven't eaten blood food for a long time, I really miss it. The entire forbidden world fell into dead silence again. For ordinary monks, the supreme beings of the dark forbidden zone are the great ancient emperors who once dominated the starry sky. They were the number one when they were alive. Even if he later managed to survive and establish the dark forbidden zone, he would still be an invincible and powerful one. But now, this restricted area of supreme being is easily trampled by another demon. What frightened everyone was that the Dark Lord screamed in the hands of the alien creature, and was finally crushed into a small ball and swallowed directly by the alien creature. An enlightened person was actually eaten by this terrifying existence. All the Dark Supremes, as well as everyone in the star regions, felt their whole bodies running cold. What kind of monster or demon did they encounter? The Dark Supreme couldn't even achieve the ultimate sublimation and was eaten alive. Especially those Dark Supremes who have survived for hundreds of thousands of years always feel like they are in a dream. It was originally an extremely common annihilation event, but they and their predecessors had done countless things in these millions of years. Those ants were all deprived of their lives and turned into vitality. But this time, two incredible beings appeared, as if they, the Dark Lords, were the real ants. What makes everyone even more horrified is that this space has been completely frozen, and they supreme beings cannot escape even if they want to. The demon burped symbolically and then gave his own comparison. Not as good as some quasi-emperors in the original world. He is more than 3 meters tall, with scales all over his body, and a pair of alien eyes staring at the puppet of the Quasi-Emperor, which is only half a body. Who are you? Who is the little master you were talking about just now? This alien creature is naturally the Tianyuan Emperor Tuosin. At this moment, his mouth was clucking and he was squinting at the Emperor's puppet. The latter only had half of his body left, but he still had no expression at all. The young master is Emperor Shi Tian. Tianyuan Emperor Tuosin had also heard of this name, but then he curled his lips. How strong can an emperor from this lower plane be? In his mind, this forbidden world is just a lower plane of the heavenly world, not as good as the original world in the Taichu universe, and those who become emperors are just fat on his chopping board. Since you have a little master, what about your master? But the next moment, Tuosin, who was originally careless, suddenly widened his eyes, invisible power spread from the surroundings, and a terrifying aura swept away. My master, Shu Changqing. Question mark question mark question mark. Shu Changqing. This name came to Emperor Tuosin's mind like a nightmare. The memory of the past came back to life like a tide. The terrifying aura exploded, and the entire restricted world felt as if the heaven and earth were collapsing. Everyone looked frightened. Shu Changqing again. Your master is Shu Changqing. Everyone's mood was indescribable after seeing the Dark Lord being chewed up by this alien creature. But what I didn't expect was that this extremely powerful alien creature would be so moved by the words Shu Changqing. Do they know each other? Several Tianyuan quasi-emperors behind him recovered from the shock and quickly restrained Tuosin, who was about to go crazy. Emperor, please calm down. This Shu Changqing cannot be the person from the original world. He must have the same name. Yes, no matter how powerful Shu Changqing is, there is no way he can interact with the forbidden world. Emperor Tuosin stuffed the supreme law of darkness in his hand into his stomach, the ferocious look in his eyes highlighted. Yes, then how could Shu Changqing come to this forbidden world? However, I hate the name Shu Changqing. Starting from you, please become my nourishment. The messenger from the heavenly realm is about to pick up Tuosin. Even though there are still many secrets in this forbidden world, Tuosin is no longer afraid. By absorbing the power of the laws of this world, he can leap to the pinnacle of the Taoist level. But the Jidao Emperor puppet, with only half of his body left, suddenly showed a cold expression. Dare to disrespect my master. The Jidao Emperor puppet suddenly exploded with aura, and the caves in his body were directly upgraded from 4 to 6. He was originally the Jidao Emperor, but he was crippled by the true immortal of the Dark Universe back then. But when he heard that Tuosin dared to be disrespectful to Shu Changqing, he immediately let go of all his restrictions. Tuosin's expression changed. Are you a Taoist? Was it because you were injured before? The body of the Jidao Emperor's puppet instantly returned to its perfect state, and his strength temporarily reached its peak. After this battle, he will definitely die. However, the meaning of his existence is originally for Shu Changqing, and no one is allowed to slander his master. The collision of the two powerful figures caused countless stars to fall, and the space was temporarily shattered. Some supreme beings in the dark restricted area died before they had time to escape. And more powerful men fled into the distance with horrified expressions on their faces. Who are they? For powerful men of this level, even if a true immortal wants to kill them, it will still take a lot of effort. That middle-aged man is related to the Evergreen Emperor. At this moment, the supreme being of the Dark Forbidden Zone already knew the identity of the Jadao Emperor's puppet, and his expression was even more horrified. The Evergreen Emperor actually still has such means. And the demon god who appeared from the hidden dragon's nest, who are they? Looks more powerful. No matter who wins, they, the Dark Forbidden Zone Supremes, will not get any good results. The sky and the earth are dim, the avenue is gloomy, and all the people in the restricted world are praying that the Jadao Emperor must win. But things went against expectations. A figure on the horizon was spilled with blood, his body was torn apart, and the mysterious middle-aged man hit the ground. Yi Xiaofan and others' moods sank to the bottom. Is this senior going to lose? However, Emperor Tuosin opposite had a gloomy look on his face. There's something wrong with the power of your law. You're not the real great emperor. Who are you? The puppet of the great emperor whose body was in a broken state was still expressionless. I am the emperor's puppet made by my master Shu Changqing. You'll see him soon. After he said these words, his whole body was broken even more severely, and the laws of the Great Road were broken bit by bit. All the people in the Forbidden World are at a loss, and their reliance has also failed. With the temperament of this demon god, it is estimated that the entire Forbidden World will be destroyed. All the monks, including Yi Xiaofan, looked desperate at this moment and could only sadly wait for their fate. The emperor's puppet, Shu Changqing. Tuo Sen was a little disbelieving that the Yakuza emperor he was fighting with was just a puppet. For some reason, Tuo Sen felt extremely uneasy. Amidst the thunder and lightning on the horizon, a strange giant magnetic field hovered, and then came to the Forbidden World like the power of colorful laws. So it's you who escaped to the Forbidden World. You dare to deal with my people. Between heaven and earth, a demon god wearing armor shines brightly, and his opponent, the legendary Evergreen Emperor, has also been defeated. But at this moment, the eyes of the Jadao Emperor's puppet showed excitement, and he looked to the horizon for a moment. The power of the huge magnetic field fluctuates, forming a huge circular vortex, from which colorful and strange laws emerge. At the same time, the whole world heard a voice that resounded in everyone's heart. So it's you who escaped to the Forbidden World. You dare to deal with my people. Countless people were puzzled, and at the same time, a glimmer of hope surged up again, and they looked at the circular whirlpool on the horizon. The great Emperor Tuosin and the several god generals around him had expressions of disbelief and horror on their faces. This voice. They looked horrified when they saw a group of people suddenly appearing under the circular whirlpool, led by a young man in a green gown, which immediately frightened them. Shu Changqing, how could you come to this world? It turns out that the master he mentioned is actually you. The moment Emperor Tianyuan Tuosin came to Shu Changqing, everything became clear. What frightened him even more was that Shu Changqing's cultivation at this moment was completely invisible to him. His entire body was completely stagnant, and he felt extremely hopeless again at this moment. This was 10 times more desperate than when he faced Shu Changqing, who had not yet become emperor. The Shu Changqing who arrived at this moment was still not his original body, but a clone of his past. Although this clone he transformed into doesn't have the power of the true immortal talisman, it is still invincible under the true immortal. Behind him were the senior officials of the original Holy Land. At this moment, everyone was looking at this world curiously. It wasn't until they saw Emperor Tianyuan that the expressions of Patriarch Yuanyang and others changed. It turns out that Lord Holy Lord came to this place after following Emperor Tianyuan. Shu Changqing secretly shook his head. He did not come to the restricted world just to pursue Emperor Tianyuan. Congratulations to the host for activating the Forbidden World mission. 1. Destroy all dark restricted areas and reward the host with 200 bottles of liquid immortal energy, 20 Shenyang pills, 20 true immortal talismans, and 100 world points. 2. Open the path to immortality for the people in the Forbidden World. restore the laws of heaven and earth in the ancient immortal era, and reward the host with a level of cultivation improvement, 10 immortal yang pills, 20 true immortal talismans, and 100 world points. Whether it is liquid immortal energy or immortal yang pill, they are all necessary for Xu Chengqing to become an immortal. The previous world tree absorbed many immortal weapons from the 3000 great world true immortals, and now it has been promoted to a top-grade immortal weapon. The rate of converting liquid fairy energy has been accelerated a lot. Moreover, if World Tree wants to break through to a top-grade immortal weapon, it will also need a large amount of liquid immortal energy and immortal matter. Once the World Tree can break through to the top-grade immortal weapons, the big worlds in these systems can be planted on the World Tree by Xu Chengqing, so that the heavenly ways of each big world are replaced by Xu Chengqing and become Xu Chengqing's exclusive world. Finally, a multidimensional micro-universe is formed and the divine law is obtained. The moment Xu Chengqing appeared, the nearly disappearing body of the Jidao Emperor's puppet suddenly stopped. System, fix this Jidao Emperor puppet for me. Xu Chengqing also did not expect that the Jida puppet he gave to Xiao Shido would still exist after millions of years. At the same time, the moment he came into contact with the Jida puppet, Xu Chengqing also learned about what happened in the ancient era after he left. Xiao Shido searched frantically for him, but apparently to no avail. Finally, he went to the 10-star universe and disappeared. The Jidao Emperor puppet returned to normal in the blink of an eye. He was originally a puppet, but now he showed an anthropomorphic expression. He knelt directly in front of Xu Chengqing. Meet the master. This all happened so quickly that no one could react. Owner, Yi Xiaofan and others suddenly woke up and looked at the young man in the green gown, suddenly showing excitement. The fat Taoist and the big black dog also became extremely nervous and couldn't believe it. Are you the Evergreen Emperor? Is he the master of Emperor Shi Tian from the ancient era? Everyone looked in the direction of Xu Chengqing. They had heard before that the mysterious middle-aged man was just a puppet made by Emperor Chengqing. Is all this true? But the people in the original Holy Land behind Xu Chengqing had doubts on their faces. Is there an Evergreen Emperor in this world? Xu Chengqing looked at Yi Xiaofan and felt that his physique was extremely powerful and that this person would definitely become a powerful figure resounding throughout the sky in the future. I didn't expect that in this Dharma-ending era, after millions of years, people would still know about Little Stone. Does anyone still know about me? This is a disguised answer to Yi Xiaofan's question. The entire Beidou Star territory was shocked. They had learned about the Evergreen Emperor from the old leader. In the ancient era of chaos, there is an emperor named Evergreen, who destroys all dark restricted areas. Not only the Beidou Star territory, but also the entire cultivation world of the Forbidden World began to spread the story of the Evergreen Emperor like crazy. It turns out that during the ancient era, there was not only Emperor Xishan, but also his master, Emperor Chengqing. Emperor Chengqing was the first strong person to use his body to walk the path of the great emperor, and he destroyed all the original dark restricted areas with absolute strength. For millions of years from now on, no one will dare to form a restricted area of their own. However, at this moment, this living fossil, spanning millions of years, appeared in front of them again. Being able to live for millions of years, it is obvious that this Evergreen Emperor has already surpassed the level of the Great Emperor. Maybe this Evergreen Emperor has existed in the immortal realm for a long time, and now he has gone down to the lower world for the sake of descendants like them. Yi Xiaofan looked excited, and then he prostrated directly. I will thank the Evergreen Emperor, and ask the Evergreen Emperor to be my descendant, and sweep away the dark restricted area again. I ask the Evergreen Emperor to respect me as my descendant, and then level the dark restricted area. All the people in the Forbidden World began to look in the direction of Xu Chengqing, their eyes full of excitement and hope. Many of those ancient Dark Supremes are still alive at this moment. They have all the secrets of the ancient era in their hands, and they know more. At this moment, they are letting out heart-rending roars. Impossible. The Evergreen Emperor is a figure from the chaotic ancient times. How is it possible that he is still alive? At his peak, the Evergreen Emperor can defeat the true immortals. I'm just an ant in front of him. Haha, I have been living for hundreds of thousands of years, so what if I can become an immortal? I might as well end it on my own. There was a dark forbidden zone supreme who couldn't stand the huge gap and directly disbanded all his practices, but more people still had luck. Maybe, the so-called Evergreen Emperor who has arrived as just an embroidered pillow, and the devil will definitely not stand idly by. And everyone in the entire forbidden world looked at Shu Chengqing who had just arrived. Shu Chengqing just whispered one word, yes. As Shu Chengqing finished speaking, the people in the original Holy Land behind him moved in all directions as if they had received some order. The direction they were heading towards was those hidden restricted areas and those supreme beings. The people around Emperor Chengqing also look very powerful. It seems to be very different from the practice system in our forbidden world. Is this a monk in the fairyland? The Dark Lords breathed a sigh of relief after seeing that Shu Chengqing did not take action personally. However, they soon became desperate again. Even the group of people brought by Shu Chengqing were no match for them. The Quasi-Emperor of the original world is enough to defeat the Supreme King of the Forbidden World. Just a moment later, all the powerful men from the original Holy Land returned again, and the whole world was raining blood again. In the apocalyptic era of the Forbidden World, the Dark Forbidden Area is once again completely destroyed. All the monks in the Forbidden World stared blankly at all this, as if they were hallucinations, and the big stone weighing on their hearts just disappeared. In the Beidou Star territory, all the monks reveled in joy, and countless people cried with joy. The cancer in these dark restricted areas has finally been removed. Congratulations to the host for destroying all dark restricted areas. I will reward the host with 200 bottles of liquid immortal energy, 20 Shenyang pills, 20 true immortal talismans, and 100 world points. Shu Chengqing, I am Dao Zun now, you can't kill me so easily. Suddenly, a monstrous chill surged through the entire forbidden world again, and everyone remembered that there was a terrifying demon god who could swallow the Dark Lord alive at will. At this moment, Tianyuan Emperor Tuosin, the power of the cave sky emerged from his body, and he actually gained another cave sky under the pressure of Shu Chengqing. Ha ha ha, Shu Chengqing, thank you very much for letting me break through to the peak of Taoism. Before he finished speaking, a sky-covering hand held his body tightly. Even if he reached the level of Taoist master, he was just pork on the chopping board. The entire world of the forbidden area fell silent again. The demon god who could kill the supreme demon god of the dark forbidden area at will before and threatened to sacrifice blood to everyone was now strangled by the neck of the mysterious Evergreen Emperor. Yi Xiaofan and others' hearts were filled with excitement. What level had their senior who became emperor in ancient times reached? It turns out that Yu Tianyuan clan comes from the dark universe. No wonder the previous Shuangguang world didn't dare to touch Yu. The Dark Universe and the Taichu Universe are both systematically defined as the 10-star universe. Although there must be huge differences among the 10-star universes, some are strong and some are weak. But this level is certainly not something that the Shuangguang world can covet. Due to the special nature of the Tianyuan land, the Shuangguang Great World did not dare to destroy the Tianyuan land, thereby indirectly protecting the original Great World. Speaking of their original Big World, they must also thank the formation of Tianyuan land. Emperor Tuosin is like a little chicken, unable to use the power of the cave in his body at all. The memories belonging to the great Emperor Tuosin were transferred to Shu Chengqing's mind bit by bit. Shu Chengqing frowned, transformed by the blood of the immortal king of the dark universe. Through memory, Shu Chengqing finally knew the origin of the Tianyuan race. Shu Chengqing once visited the ancient era and knew the description of the immortal king among the countless true immortals in the immortal realm in the forbidden world. The powerful immortal king truly lives the same life as the heaven and the earth. The heaven and the earth are immortal and I am immortal. I exist eternally in the various dimensions of time and space in the universe where I am. Such a strong person is simply unimaginable at Shu Chengqing's current level. This blood of the immortal king is enough to pass through other large universes. Even if it is diluted countless times, it can still give birth to an 8-star world like Tianyuan land. Shu Chengqing, a messenger from heaven will come to pick me up. I can introduce you to you and make you an immortal in the dark universe. To become an immortal in the dark universe, there is no restriction from the Taichu Golden List, and it is not as harsh as the Taichu universe. Not only you, but the entire original Holy Land can go to the dark universe and become immortals. Emperor Tuosin wanted to live at this moment and tried his best to please Shu Chengqing. However, not only Shu Chengqing, but also everyone in the original Holy Land behind him remained unmoved. In the past, it was impossible for them to become immortals in their original Holy Land. But with the existence of Shu Changqing, it is not impossible to become a true immortal, it just takes time to accumulate. Are the envoys you mentioned preparing to open a path to immortality on this planet? The whole world suddenly turned upside down, but Yi Xiaofan and others found that they were no longer where they were. Instead, it appeared on a desolate planet. Emperor Tuosin looked in disbelief. What are you going to do? Shu Changqing faced Yi Xiaofan and others. The reason why your era has become the age of ending law is because of the restrictions of the laws of heaven and earth. Not to mention becoming an immortal, even becoming an emperor is extremely difficult. In the ancient era of chaos, many of those supreme beings in the dark restricted area became true immortals and entered the immortal realm. Fortunately, I will solve this problem for you today and open the Feixian road. In the future, as long as you accumulate enough, you will be enough to become an emperor or even an immortal. All the monks from the Forbidden World who came here once again showed signs of horror. The Evergreen Emperor said, "Can you let me wait until I become an emperor and become an immortal? Is this possible?" Not to mention other things, because of the law restrictions, only one Tianxin seal can be accommodated in the universe and starry sky. But the fat Taoist became horrified. Feixian Road, isn't this the place that the Forbidden City Supreme is searching for? Rumor has it that this place can lead directly to the immortal realm. Opening the Flying Immortal Road allows part of the immortal domain law to enter the Forbidden World. This can make up for the lack of avenues in the universe, but can this kind of thing be done? At this moment, Shu Changqing flipped his wrist and took out something that made everyone extremely scared. This thing is shaped like a jade seal, with slivers of red covering the smooth jade seal. Each texture seems to represent a path of cultivation, and the extremely powerful power of the Great Law emanates from the jade seal. This is a top-grade immortal weapon, the Heaven-Shaking Seal, and it is the most powerful immortal weapon currently in Shu Changqing's hands. Shu Changqing threw it with one hand, and the Heaven-Turning Seal was enlarged countless times, and it hit a piece of the desolate planet. The sound of "pung" seemed to hit the mirror, and a vast world was revealed on the opposite side. At the same time, a sound reached everyone's ears. "Why haven't you come yet? We are well known in the immortal realm, but we are actually asked to attract the natives from the lower realm." Stop the ink. It is said that this man is the descendant of some kind of immortal king. Are you willing to die? When it comes to a certain immortal king, even if it's just one of his dogs, we will sacrifice him. Hey, something's wrong, what is that? Worry, run. With a bang, the Heaven-Turning Seal made a big hole in the entire space. Countless immortal energies squeezed into the Forbidden World, and the entire Forbidden World came to life in an instant. The powerful man with the Quasi-Emperor 9th level suddenly looked excited. I feel it. I can also condense the Tianxin Seal and become the Great Emperor. The laws of heaven and earth have been loosened, and there is hope for us to become emperor. Evergreen Emperor, please accept my respects again. All the powerful people in the restricted world have felt the changes in the laws of heaven and earth. When Shu Changqing took back the Heaven-Turning Seal, he found that there were several dead corpses on the Heaven-Turning Seal, and their vitality and blood essence had been sucked into the Heaven-Turning Seal. The red color on the jade seal is even more intense. Shu Changqing was extremely calm, but the eyes of Tian Yangtze and others around him jumped. Did he casually smash a few immortals to death? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.